Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is 8:29 a.m. on the 2nd of October, 2025. And as I think about it, man, I'm getting old. I'm feeling better. Thank all of one of you for not asking. Currently one. I'm going to play something that appeared overnight while I slept. It's not me. It's my artists union. Without me having talked directly to them, they seem to have gotten my message. Hello, my brother's keeper. Good morning. So I'll play it real quick. And as I listened to the lyrics, man, they kind of pegged what I was trying to say last night, I think. A little corny, but let's play it. Yeah, we got to change that intro. We just don't care is a loose translation of my new motto. I don't give a fuck. Okay, all right. And FMAC is Finkel, Muxter, Ariel, Killing Time. Those union guys, they wanted to rearrange those letters, but looks like they're complying with putting Finkel first. Finkel is always first.
Chris is sounding sirens, screaming at the screen. Paranoid delusions on a YouTube scene. Every shadow scandal, every glitch a plot, but the rest of us are chilling, shaking head, man, stop. We just don't care, we just don't care. Drama storms are everywhere. Spin your tails, pull out your hair. We'll be laughing, we don't care. Ties back crying.
We don't care. Again, I don't give a fuck. More recently, I enjoyed I Don't Give a Fuck from a movie. I think it was one of the Lethal Weapon movies with the guy that got in a little trouble for his drunk tirades. I can't remember his name. Mel Gibson. That's it, Mel Gibson. His character smokes a lot, and he's in the police captain's office, and he's getting a shit detail. And he's kind of complaining about it. And the police captain says, sometimes you just got to learn to say, I don't give a fuck. And meanwhile, there's no smoking signs everywhere. And when the conversation ends, the police captain tells the character, hey, can't you read there's no smoking? And the character holds up the no smoking signs. Yeah, I know, but I don't give a fuck. Further back in my personal history, yes, I do digress. I was newly promoted to E5, Sergeant E5. I'm in the Rockin' Sounds. My company was Alpha Company, 3rd Battalion, 187th Infantry. At the time, we were under Lieutenant Colonel Petraeus, who later grew up to be General Petraeus and later grew up to be Director of CIA and later grew up to be shamed Director of CIA. We didn't think he'd ever be shamed because he was he was hard as rocks. But we had some kind of battalion tabletop exercise, and all the company leadership were there. For my company, it was the company commander, the XO, and the first sergeant. And all the companies had the same representation on this battalion tabletop exercise. And Angel 7 would be my first sergeant. Now, I don't know anything about battalion operations. Like I said, I just made E5, and I can't remember why, but Angel 7 had to step out, so they came down the company and they, hey, you, Sergeant Finkel, come up here and play like you're your first sergeant. Angel 7. Angels from Hell was Alpha Company, and I don't remember the other companies. The battalion level was Rakkasan. Rakkasan 6 is Colonel Petraeus. Rakkasan 5 is the XO. Rakkasan 7 is the senior enlisted advisor. I think his name was Sergeant Major Purdy at the time. That's the battalion element. The subordinate elements, the company elements, they had the same numerical identifiers. 7 is the senior enlisted advisor, 6 is the commander, and 5 is the XO. They had others: 4 is supply, 2 is intelligence, 1 is personnel, 3 is operations, and okay, I'm over explaining it. So I'm up there representing Angel 7, representing my first sergeant, and I don't know shit about battalion operations. And they're playing on the tabletop like the battalion's coordinating together on some imaginary exercise. And one of the 7 elements duties are beams and bullets, supply. And they pretended like one of our line platoons under company, was short on ammunition. So they pretended to make the radio call to Angel 7 to get more ammunition there. This is all imaginary. It's all on the tabletop. They're just going through the motions, and the characters are supposed to respond as they would. Now, keep in mind, when I went in there, it's a hard thing. Remember, First Sergeant Rushton, he says, "I don't give a fuck" to just about everything. So if you don't know what to do, we get it. You're just coming from a line squad. You don't know much about battalion operations. So if there's something you don't understand, just channel First Sergeant Rushton and say, "I don't give a fuck." They're playing, but I'm one of these guys who's like, do as you're told, even if you don't understand what the fuck's going on. And sure enough, the exercise continues on, and someone says Angel 7, and they put in the request for the ammunition. And like, imaginary or real, I don't know where the ammunition is. I don't know how to get the ammunition to the line company. I don't know what the fuck's going on. And they're kind of looking at me. And the guy who briefed me is like, and I catch on. So I'm like, this is Angel 7? I don't give a fuck. And everyone just laughed. Apparently, I got it right as per what First Sergeant Rushton would usually do. Okay, that was my first exposure to battalion level type operations. So I do like to say, I don't give a fuck. I'm channeling Mel Gibson from Lethal Weapon. I'm channeling First Sergeant Rushton, who probably made First Sergeant somewhere later in his career. Sergeant Major. Who knows? But yeah.
They're all against me. Big talk, small minds stirring endlessly. He's got outrage merch and a soapbox too. But we're scrolling past the circus, nothing new. We just don't care. We just don't care. Hot take.
Kind of catchy, isn't it?
Floating through the air, cry or scream, it's all hot air. We'll be gaming, we don't care. Kevin's in the corner with his I'm so wise.
Kevin, that would be okay. They're going through some of the recent characters that we've gone through. This AI stuff's pretty amazing to me.
Crown, self-made king of trolling, tearing people down. Bow's got labels that nobody can part.
They even hit Bow. I barely mentioned Bow, but okay, they got Bow too.
But that's their business, not ours. Oh, rabbit hops in with opinions to spare, flooding every thread like the mayor of the square. But voices fade out when the noise gets loud. We're just vibing with a lighter crowd. We just don't care. We just don't care. Drama junkies everywhere. Clap back, pile on, start a snare.
Okay, if you find yourself aligned to any of the characters that sounds like the lyrics are painting out, I think I heard something about Chris Ryder. I think I heard something about the angry victim, the angry vet. I think I heard something about generally specific. If you find yourself aligned to any of these YouTube characters, please know this disclaimer. I did not write this. I didn't even know this was written until this morning. I'm like, whoa, what's this on my channel? The union, the artists union, they're at it again. So if you feel zinged by the people you follow, or you are one of the people in question, I did not do this. It's kind of cute. It's kind of funny. I'm enjoying it.
We'll be laughing, we don't care. Killing times gaming, aerial cracks wise. Mucksters telling stories with a twinkle in their eyes. Finkel strums a song as the sun sets done. They don't need.
I do not strum a song. I suck at singing. Anybody can tell you, but I get the point.
Need the drama, they just want fun. Final tag, so Chris can't panic, Todd can cry, Kevin trolls till batteries die, Vulcan puzzle, rabbit share, Mr. Ruff can silently stare, but honestly.
Okay, that was rough, which is why I'm here. Yesterday and last night, I decided to, even though I'm going to try and get away from the drama, I'm going to honor my commitment to finish the review of the Chris Ruff review, which I'm a little confused. When I first heard about it, I heard the stoner ripped you a new asshole. And then someone said, he just said a few things tongue in cheek. And then someone else said, he doesn't know you and is probing to see your reactions and weakness to learn more about you. I don't know which is true. Actually, I kind of do now. It's a little bit of it, all of it. I did go back and watch more of it. I fell asleep to it, but I'm like, oh, he said that. Oh, he said that. All right, let's not be mean, but we're going to react to it as honestly as I can. Let us continue.
We don't care. We'll be right here beyond the screen. A chaotic, beautiful, brilliant team. So raise your glass and say,
we're kind of stuck on our beautiful. Yeah, okay. I'm beautiful. I just tolerate the other three. I'm kidding.
Say it loud to this fantastic, funny crowd.
Great harmonizing in that AI universe, isn't there? Can I whistle yet? No, my mouth is too messed up. We forgot anyone we left out. We're not sorry, cuz we don't care. Take it for what it is, folks.
If you're still watching this, it means you have achieved a state of maximum focus, or you're just procrastinating. Either way, your reward is this: permission to close this app. Forget the drama. Go be the main character of your own much better movie. Seriously, log off. Love you. Mean it. Now fuck off, cheerio.
Fuck off, cheerio. Okay. All right, we don't want to watch that again. Okay. I think they get the gist of my live stream last night. Okay, I did watch more of it, and because I get sidetracked and digressed, and I see the chat, it's 1:35 a.m. and 3 degrees Celsius. Howdy. I know you. I know. Never said, but thank you for your service. Oh well, thank you. I don't think I was entirely altruistic in my service, but it's good to be appreciated. Before I get into the Chris Ruff review, which I stopped at about 16 minutes, 44 seconds, I watched some more of it, and then I backed up to 15 minutes so we can get the context. Where the fuck is Muxer? Well, it looks like this thing that I just played was posted at 4 o'clock in the morning, about 4.5 hours ago. So I'm going to imagine he's probably asleep. Wake up, Muxter. You all-nighter. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. So there's a few things I want to put out there that are facts. They're not emotional. They are what they are. Before I get into the Ruff thing, because he said he made some comments on these things and other things. That it's what I want to correct the record as unsarcastically as possible, as unmeanly as possible. We're going to start out by sharing the entire screen. What is my issue with JJ? And it's really not an issue anymore. Keep in mind, when you think I'm negatively affected by crackhead, I embrace it. Okay, I'm a crackhead. When you think I'm negatively impacted by people calling me a recovering alcoholic, no, I embrace it. Chris Ryder recently tried to weaponize the fact that my significant other of more than 12 years is currently, and that status hasn't changed, is currently not talking to me. I embrace it. Yeah, it sucks. I don't like it. I love her very much. She's mad at me, and she has every right to be mad at me, but I embrace it. You can't weaponize my defects against me because I embrace my defects. Now, this is, well, YouTube says it was a year ago. It was actually April 21st, 22nd of 2024. I noticed YouTube timestamps for public view. They round it off to near, if it's short term, they'll give you a date. But as you get longer in time, everything between 1 year ago and 1 year, 364 days ago shows as 1 year ago. The exact date is April 21st, 20th, 22nd, somewhere around there. I post this, what I now call a trolling, and I misspelled waiting. So go ahead and fun on me for that. Okay, but I intend to say waiting on some documentation for the following briefly mentioned in my live stream of, I guess it was that day or the day before. Bullet 1, allegations relating to prescription drugs. Drugs intended for use. Illegal marketing and kickback schemes. Marketing drugs to control behaviors and conduct. Unapproved uses of various drugs. This is a lot of drug-related stuff about someone as I'm loosely referring to as JJ. All right. This is one of the things that either Chris Ruff doesn't know about or is pretending to not know about. I'm not sure. Good morning, Christine. Sunshine. Well, thank you. This was a trolling. This was a sensing round. I wanted to see how people react who are familiar with a one John J. Scarborough of YouTube notoriety, because at this point for several months, he had been on Fraud at Wrangler's channel, and they were dunking on a lot of folks, not just Chris Ryder, although Chris Ryder was Fraud at Wrangler's main target. They also targeted me and people you'd call a First Amendment auditor. I'm not a First Amendment auditor. My YouTube activity with the camera, it takes ideas from First Amendment auditors, but I'm really just gauging public reactions and public servant reactions to the camera, and I'm staying on the correct side of the law. And sometimes I'm not very spiritual. Sometimes I'm kind of mean in my reactions to them. But people like to call me a First Amendment auditor, so yeah, I embrace it. Yeah, a 1A auditor is not a uniform thing. It's not a uniform service. Not everyone who becomes a 1A auditor believes in the same things and does the same things. But I digress. I put this post up to see if there was a reaction, and boy, was there a reaction. This is sort of newest to the oldest. Someone named Princess Sophia, which I seem to remember being someone from the Fraud at Wrangler crowd. You sure are trying to prove you weren't talking about JJ. At least it knocked down your arrogance a couple notches. Actually, if I remember correctly, I laughed at this, laughed at all the reaction. All my people in my circle did. You see, I guess these changes are what you get for being arrogant asshole and yelling F you out at people in your live chats. It's called karma. The karma she's speaking about is all of these people who are commenting believe Now, later on, a few people claimed it was a joke, including JJ himself, or a trolling, or whatever you. But these people at this time believe that the very next day, the charges posted on Fraud at Wrangler, allegedly against me, they couldn't name me because they didn't know my real name. It was pretended to be whited out. And he says, well, behind the whiteout is Finkel's real name and his real address, which I believe they never found out. But I don't know. Maybe they know it. Now, I'm pretty sure they don't know it because when they thought they knew Tyrant Beware real name, they doxed his address and they doxed his alleged real name. So if they knew who I was, they would have said, blah, 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 and living at blah, blah, blah. So because they were willing to dox others that they were angry at when they thought they knew the names and addresses, and they didn't dox me, that tells me they didn't know who I was in real life. And someone named Blue on Black 3971 says, ouch! I really hope you can back all this up. I honestly don't believe you understand what you have done just by making these claims. Just simply by making this claim, it seems as if you most likely have opened yourself to a legal battle. The only lawyers involved were the ones I put on retainer, knowing full well that I'd have to put more on retainer in Kentucky because my lawyers here are not on the Kentucky bar. I can see at least 3 charges you may have picked up. Actually, I believe it was 4 if memory serves, and 2 of them were felony, but it was either a joke, a fake, or they got shot down. I don't know. I guess I could be wrong, but we shall see. And yes, we did see. Later on, nothing happened, and even later on, they claimed, oh, we were just kidding. Well, I don't know. So whether they were kidding or not, their followers fully believed it. Wow, you are so dumb. This is from Good Citizen 3027. So now you have a criminal complaint filed against you. Maybe you and Dumbwaiter can be in the same cell. So whatever Fraud at Wrangler and JJ's intentions were, their people were convinced that I was going to be extradited to Kentucky and not just face charges, but I would end up in jail. Maybe the same one as Dumbwaiter's, what they call for public safety, Chris Ryder. Jack Maney says, hey, fuck you for your service. Oh, that's nice. Thank you, Brothers Keeper, for thanking me for my service. Jack Maney, over a year ago, said, fuck you for your service. All that you did was protect corporate profits. Okay, this doesn't sound like a guy who's aligned with Fraud at Wrangler or JJ or anybody else. This sounds like one of those sovereign citizens. And sovereign citizens also didn't like Fraud at Wrangler because, to his credit, he went after sovereign citizens. And I'm sorry, now that I know what I know about sovereign citizens, that's a bunch of bullshit too. IDM 7574 looks like this isn't going to work out for you, but you can scroll through. In fact, I'll put the link to this post in the chat if you want to on your own. Go ahead and check out how realistic these people thought this was. And I thought it was realistic in that I was going to have to pay time and money and on resources defending this, but never for a moment did I think any jury in the world was going to convict me any of that bullshit they brought up. Turns out JJ was my abbreviation for Johnson & Johnson. And what I did in the following days, we were doing a live stream and someone named Maida came up and kind of taunted us about, hey, your charges are coming, you're in trouble now, blah, blah, blah. And we stopped what we were doing and we reviewed Fraud at Wrangler's video, which later on was backed up by JJ, not once or twice, but consistently for about 2 or 3 months. Yeah, this is me. Yeah, this is real. Yeah, any day now, Finkel's going to be served, blah, 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 charged, whatever. JJ was Johnson & Johnson. And when we took a break and we came back up and we showed the Johnson & Johnson document, that did briefly describe allegations relating to prescription drugs, drugs intended for use, illegal marketing and kickback schemes, marketing drugs to control behaviors and conduct, which I love that because there were accusations out there at the time. I don't think they're true. I don't know if they're true. The false, what I believe to be a false accusation, was that JJ and his nurse friend were, when prisoners are in jail, they get the prescription drugs, and the false allegation, let me be clear, the false allegation is that they were skimming the drugs and repurposing them either for themselves or selling. It was bullshit. I didn't buy it, but I knew the accusation was out there, and I kind of hoped this Johnson & Johnson, which is a drug manufacturer, a prescription drug manufacturer, I just kind of felt like this DOJ document would convict. By the way, the DOJ document in question was from the late 1990s. Didn't JJ also try to get this privacy struck in before you actually aired it? No. The only privacy striking I got from JJ was I reshared a video that official misconduct had privacy stricken by JJ. So I reposted it, and I told people to repost it. And he privacy struck it, and I explained to YouTube that everything in there is public record. There was no privacy information. And last time I looked at what's been probably over a year now, it was back up. Very similarly, Chris Ryder tried to privacy strike, and I forgot to take it down, but it really doesn't matter. He tried to privacy strike the phone call that we published. Again, YouTube warned me that this is a privacy issue. Check it out. Get back to us. And I didn't find any. I mean, at the worst, we had a first name, or we're not even clear who the first name belongs to. I thought there was something that he tried to do before you actually had his episode aired. I mean, the only privacy strike I'm aware of JJ attempting on me was a video produced by official misconduct that I reshared. And last time I looked, it's still there. I haven't looked. I hadn't even looked in over a year. Gift Alvin, please send me money, sir. Okay, check is in the mail, Gift Alvin. I have your real name. I have your real address. I did the snail mail. It's just check your mailbox. I am poor and need help. Okay. Okay, so that is part of my history with JJ, who I've never met, and I get a lot of the shit that comes out of for public safety mouth is a lie. And no, I did not just recently found out. I mean, some of the lies I'm just like, holy shit, you're full of shit there. But I've known Chris Ryder tends to bend the truth and lie and exaggerate for quite some time because of alignments. I didn't put out there that he told me in the next 24 hours the FBI was going to pick up Kaiser, or in the next 24 hours the FBI was going to pick up JJ, or in the next 24 hours the FBI would call me for more information. None of those things ever happened. All of those things happened more than once by Chris Ryder telling me either on phone or text that these were going to happen. Didn't take me long for me to realize, this is bullshit. The FBI is not coming after Kaiser. The FBI is not coming after JJ, and the FBI is not going to call me. Might have been a privacy strike, but yeah, it was privacy. It was there's this whole thing about something published on the Meade County website, or at least at the time, that Chris Ryder's kind of in hot water for. And that Meade County publication of that address is actually the former home of JJ. And there's quite a reaction to it because allegedly there's a child or children there, or were, I don't know. But also with the word allegedly, there's a child or children at Chris Ryder's house. We don't know. YouTube drama gets to be YouTube drama. But in Chris Ryder's defense, which is right now kind of rare for me to do because I'm kind of pissed off at him, that picture of that house at that address was at the time on the public website for Meade County. website, or I'm sorry, not website, Facebook page, publicly facing Facebook page. So if Meade County put that up there and Chris Ryder shared it, well, that's on Meade County. And yeah, there might be charges behind that, but I believe that's one of those bullshit charges that Christopher Ruff didn't like me saying. And actually, he mentioned some of the bullshit charges. He didn't use the word bullshit, but the way he explained it, yeah, it's bullshit. All right, enough with the troll. What they called it, the troll of the year at the time. I think the troll of the year, at least in our circles, was that numbskull, what's his name, Vegas VIPs in his Master Sergeant RTL. He had us all fooled. Come on, admit it. None of us knew who he was until he came out on his own. Okay, before I get into the video again, here is one day ago, Christopher Ruff. He says, I am for public safety 1. Now, keep in mind, that's an app mentioned for a YouTube channel. Yes, he runs that YouTube channel. However, that's the same YouTube channel that JJ bragged about. He owns it, and he's going to use it for public safety, literally for public safety. What they're doing is they're copying the idea of for public safety from Chris Ryder. And Christopher Ruff, I can't remember which video, he claimed this is his company. Okay, who runs the YouTube channel at For Public Safety 1? We've got JJ documented as claiming he does, and it was for public service. And we'll get back to that, because Christopher Ruff also claims that he went to Fraud at Wrangler, the murderer, the burglar, the career criminal, because he was the only platform that would accept him. I'm going to call bullshit on that because, as you can see, For Public Safety, a YouTube channel, indeed, can be run by a public official. He wasn't limited to having to go to, okay, organization number, note this organization, 1413686. What Christopher Ruff was trying to indicate here, and he actually said on video, I own For Public Safety LLC. I own it. Okay. And he shows the actual listing page. But if you notice, there's something missing here. Oh, this changed. Now it's for profit. It used to be not for profit. Okay. But company type, KLC, Kentucky Limited Liability Company. Industry is amusement and recreation. Number of employees between 0 and 19. Primary county, Meade County. Again, state, Kentucky. What state is Christopher Ruff a citizen of? Arizona. And it was filed on the 6th of December, 2024, and organization date was the same date. Last annual report was just this past September, just half a month ago. Oh, there's some stuff cut out here. Principal office, P.O. Box. P.O. Box is not doxing. Why would he leave that out? Because shorter, it actually says who the real owner is. And the real owner is, someone run the drums, please, is John Scarborough. And this is okay, I just realized, oops, okay, there's an address there. Ignore the address. Okay, too late. Well, this is a public record. So I'm not doxing what is public, and there is the link to the public record posted by none other than Kentucky Secretary of State, Michael Adams. So if I just accidentally dox someone's address, actually I didn't. It's there. It's public. Okay, are you going to charge me because I put an address up there? I don't know where that address goes. Let's go down this slowly. This is the same information. P.O. Box is not a doxing. Let's go down a little bit more. It's in Brandenburg, Kentucky. Ah, shit. I can't really get out the doxing. Fuck it. It's John Scarborough. The owner of that LLC is John Scarborough. Freeman Press, JJ will come after your kids now that you've shown that address. Well, my kids are grown. Two of them have very adequate husbands. Yeah, okay. And quite frankly, if someone says that's the doxing, well, take it up with the Kentucky Secretary of State who has this publicly listed dealio. Okay. All right. So let's get into, we'll try not to do this meanly. And we wound it to 14 minutes. We stopped yesterday at 16 minutes and 44 seconds. And yes, I have watched considerable amount more. It's not the whole 3 hours and 37 minutes isn't about me, which sadly disappoints me because I believe it is all about me. All right, here's Christopher Ruff, also known as Direct D, and apparently also known as For Public Safety 1, allegedly, okay. And apparently also lives in Meade County, and his real name is John Scarborough. I think we have what we call dishonesty, lie, deceit, but we will, and you know, when he put that on his community post, he certainly did not have John Scarborough there. Why he's claiming it's his. Maybe it's his because John Scarborough is a nice guy and says, I gift this to you. I own it, but you have the, I almost, in New York, I almost titled a vehicle in my name and let my second oldest daughter register in New York under my insurance and all my, we just found out the legal loopholes. But I was legally allowed to do it. It just became a lot of legal loopholes. So we're not going to have a vehicle titled in Virginia and registered in New York, titled in my name and registered in hers. Just too much effort. So we're just going to get her. We're just going to buy the vehicle outright when it's time, and she can do all of that. And if she needs help with insurance, I'm happy to cover that. Okay, let's continue with this. Fake John Scarborough. I'm being sarcastic. Okay. He's reviewing me after I react with laughter to him calling me a crackhead. And a quick recap before I go with the playing with it. He said that while he's smoking marijuana, he's more, I forget the words he chose, but he's more cognitively aware, he has more reasoning skills than me. What he's claiming he's doing is self-medicating an actual medical situation known as ADHD, which, yeah, self-medicating with marijuana does not help ADHD. It does calm the mind, it does slow you down, but it doesn't fix the problem. Actually, really, the stuff I just went over, you either had no idea or you pretended like you had no idea. Don't know which is the case, but have you come to the situation before or after April 21st, 2024? Because I can document where I was involved at least then, and I was involved well enough to know that trolling I did would get to John Scarborough, not Johnson and Johnson. By the way, I'm 60 years old. I do believe I'm playing in the third quarter, maybe the fourth quarter of my life. I am old. I embrace it. I am old. But when he says, not really old man, he thinks he's getting to me. Remember, I embrace my characteristics. There is no sound. Holy shit. Thank you. I fucked up. I'm sharing by screen. Okay, I'm going to remove that. I'm going to remove that. Stop screen. And I got to share it by tab. Thank you, my brother's keeper. All right. I like crackheads who need something to laugh at. Shared by tab. Oh, MC has sounds. Okay. Or maybe it's a distant sound because You may have been hearing it through my microphone as it's playing on my speaker. All right, should we go back a few seconds?
Ethics, sir, right-whited, has nothing to do with the ethics committee. You're kind of a Johnny-come-lately.
Can you all hear it now? There's a delay. Okay. If I continue, you don't hear it, let me know you don't hear it. I think you should be able to hear it now because I'm sharing by tab, not by, yes, thank you. MBK. I just recently figured out that when they say MBK, they're talking about my brother's keeper. Okay, thank you, MC.
To this conversation.
Not really, old man. Not really, old man. I actually know everything from every angle of this.
Everything from every angle. Did you know about the pretend charges?
You don't, but that's okay. You're not me. It's my job to understand all of this.
And I know you can't hear me right now, and I don't know if you'll.
Oh, I can hear you. I'm watching. The only reason we're watching this is because you keep bringing up JJ with some dumb shit.
I've been bringing up JJ what he considers dumb shit for over a year now. This, to the best of my knowledge, this is the second time you reviewed me. The first time was I brought up Chris Ryder's conversation with me.
I'm not sure where you.
Freeman Press, in his defense, to be fair, and I wish I had the clip from Letterkenny, a lot of YouTube channels think they know more than everybody. Yours truly included. Chris Ryder, JJ Scarborough, Fraud at Wrangler, Hill Pirate Studios, Shiz Happens, Generally Specific. You name it, if they get into the drama, they think they know more than anybody. And the truth is, there's always somebody who knows more than you. I'm doing fine, Giggles, thank you. I still can't whistle, but I can do a better full-on smile. It's still a little bit, but it's improving day by day. Now we're 2 days over the doctor's estimate, which makes me mad. She said 1 month. Damn it, it was a month 2 days ago.
Where you came across the video, my channel, or somebody else replayed it? I don't know. No.
I didn't play it off your channel. Actually, it was sent to me in an email in a downloadable link format. That way, it can't get edited.
We went over this yesterday. Yeah, if you can download it, you can edit it. You just got to put the file in an editor.
The reason I told Ryder he was right to fight JJ was because of all the, at least apparent bullshit charges.
In his defense, maybe he meant you can't edit it to keep the original metadata. That's a possibility, but you can indeed edit it. Of course, we don't see the metadata when you play it here. And the metadata you're going to get from the original file would be metadata from my dash cam memory card and Muxter's computer, if you know how to retain metadata. I don't think metadata is on your mind, but I could be wrong.
And the bullshit charges.
Here's where you're getting off track here. Bullshit charges.
We went over that yesterday.
We're still on this merry-go-round right here.
I think I explained it yesterday. Someone did I think the count was 16 charges. One of them's already been dropped. That was a bullshit charge. One of them, the attack and arrest of Chris and Tiffany at Meade County by Ray Whited, was bullshit. He doesn't say bullshit, but he actually says so here. There's another minute or so before we're in new territory. I'll try and shut up and get through that because we've already commented on everything up to 1644. We're at 1535 now.
Sad stuff, yeah. Very sad stuff. These are not bullshit charges. ladies and gentlemen. You might not agree. I don't even agree with some of the charges that he has, and I've discussed this with.
If you don't agree with some of the charges, you would agree, in my terminology, that the charges you don't agree with are bullshit charges.
JJ, and that's all that it is. But they're not all bullshit charges, old man.
I didn't say all, but okay, we're still 44 seconds before I stopped yesterday.
They're not. And in a prosecution like this, it's actually quite normal to stack charges, because at the end of the day, whether he pleads out or he goes to...
It's quite normal that they stack charges. We went over that yesterday too. We're at 1609. We're about 30 seconds from where I stopped.
Well, if he goes to trial, they're not going to drop all those. But if he does plead out, they're going to drop all of those except for one or two. That's how.
And update, I did see and hear about Chris Ryder did put a video up after he had some kind of mediation, and he didn't get what he wanted. And apparently the prosecution didn't get they wanted. So at least according to Chris Ryder, nobody got what they wanted. It cost money, and we're right back at square one. Looks like these charges will go to court, and I believe some of them will be not guilty, which would be the bullshit charges.
That's how it works. Okay. This bullshit charges thing is getting old.
Seems to me like it's the first time you heard it, maybe the second time. I don't know. I've been calling a lot of these charges, not all of them, a lot of them bullshit or something like that for well over a year.
It gets old.
These are the same people that can actually get excused that egregious ethics. I really don't care about the ethics committee. Whatever they found, wherever they say they found, whatever this party says they found, or whatever that party says they didn't find, what has changed in Meade County? Nothing really. So I personally don't care about the ethics committee, other than now I'm hearing Tiffany was there. Why was she there? What does she have to? Was she a witness? No. Okay. Was she just exercising her right to be in a public hearing? I don't know, but it's a bit of a drive from where Chris and Tiffany lived to where the ethics committee was. Why were you there, Tiffany? I don't know. Good morning, GS. How are you? The video that my buddies put up about 4 o'clock in the morning, I didn't write those lyrics. I didn't even know they were putting it up, just in case some of that was directed at you. Okay, let's continue. We're still about 15 seconds from where I stopped yesterday.
Old. Yeah.
And I see we're growing in view counts, 21 now. We are posting to both channels. And a quick recap, I'm attempting this again without the meanness and sarcasm. It still comes out. I'm trying to be more spiritually advantageous for my condition. But I did promise folks yesterday that I would finish this. So like GS, like when I went to that pizza shop 3 hours from Bill's place, I was tired. I really didn't want to do it. I'm glad I did do it. But in the point where I was driving from Stepping Stones to Greenwich, I was like, do I really want to do this? No, I committed to doing it. I'm going to do it. And I did it. Tiff was a super duper reporter. I don't know. I never saw any Tiffany's reporting on that. So I don't know if she was being a reporter or what. Just, I don't know. It's hard for me to judge it because I didn't see it. And yeah, on the ethics committee, I'm really not involved. Whatever they say the result was, the actual result is I don't believe anything's changed in Meade County. JJ's still the jailer. His girlfriend's still the nurse. Pay scales haven't changed. To the best of my knowledge, nothing's really changed there, except for Chris keeps stirring the fucking pot. Not just in Meade County, but in surrounding counties. Isn't that right, GS? All right. It goes along with my next comment. Think. I don't have enough room for it all in one. I was just trying to kind of make a connection, sort of. Yeah, quite often I'm getting, well, it's on YouTube. This is a now famous quote by Chris. It's on YouTube, so you know it. Man, there are 24 hours in a day, and Finkel does have a life outside of YouTube. There's no possible way I could watch every minute and absorb every minute of just a small circle. Hill Pirate Studios, General Specific, Subpar Gaming, For Public Safety, Christopher Ruff, The Angry Vet, my own stuff when my people put, there's more content in a 24-hour period than 24 hours. Just because I watch something occasionally, or even if I watch it often, I'm going to miss stuff. And as Muxer pointed out yesterday, even if it's right before me, I kind of sometimes don't pay attention. Ronnie Rebel says, it doesn't really matter about the ethics committee thing. Okay. I was trying to make a point. Okay. All right. Fine. As Muxer points out, I missed the point. Okay. Let's get to the point of Mr. Ruff here.
After a while, if they were bullshit charges, please explain to me why some of the biggest creators in this space are not trying to help him at all.
And I responded to that yesterday, and now we're at the point where people started coming up. Muxer came up, GS came up, For Public Safety came up, another guy named Chris came up, Broken System, Broken Trust tried to come up. I kind of messed with them on that. Yeah, it was quite an active live stream, and we never finished beyond this point, but I'm pretty sure we explained up to this point. And a lot of it with meanness and sarcasm. I'm going to try and go forward without the meanness and sarcasm and stick to the facts as best as I can. I'm human. Human beings are emotional, and I may, and I apologize in advance, forget myself and get mean and sarcastic. Let's continue with new material to this format. Some of you have watched the rest, including me. I wasn't really fully awake because I wasn't feeling good last night. So when I put it on, I kind of fell asleep to it. But there were things like, what? He said what? Okay. All right. Let's get into what he said. I don't understand the ethics. It seems the problem was relationship and not the pay. Oh, yeah, I don't know. I didn't really follow the ethics thing. I heard a lot of people talk about it, and a lot of people shared opinions that, like, well, opinions are like anal cavities. Everyone has one. Some of them stink more than others, and I don't know. Oh.
Because they know better. And I know you're going to watch this.
Well, yes, a couple days later.
So there's your answer, buddy. Please explain that to me.
My answer is an opportunity to explain it to you. Doesn't quite make sense, but okay.
I mean, we have some big channels that come into this. Ordinary County comes in here. How come he's not trying to help him? Bell's palsy, yeah, something, yeah.
An accurate diagnosis. Yes, this is Bell's palsy. All right.
Yeah, he had a stroke or Bell's palsy, something, dude. I don't know. It's something medical. I'm not calling him a crackhead because of that. I want to be clear for everybody. I'm not making fun of him, his medical condition.
If I remember correctly, he's making fun of my lack of ability to reason things out.
Pinko, I know you're going to watch this, so
Yes,
let's be clear about why Chris has charges. Christopher Ryder.
He's going to be clear to me why he has. And to be fair, I did watch this, and I remember thinking what I'm about to say. So this isn't a live reaction. This is a slept-on reaction. My reasoning for Christopher Ryder having charges is he lives in the public eye, and he publicly was in pursuit of defending himself for the allegation of skipping out on probation. In that pursuit, Chris, being who Chris is, over-exaggerating things and over-dramatizing things and lashing out anybody who stands in his way or even seems to be standing in his way, he accumulated anger and reaction and, yes, charges in the wake of his pursuit to prove his innocence of the charge of skipping out on probation, which was related to a joint a long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. The joint isn't the cause. The pursuit of proving he didn't skip out on his penalty wasn't the cause. Chris was the cause because he keeps stirring that pot and getting reactions. And when he gets the reactions, he doesn't know to stop stirring the pot. He doesn't know to stop lashing out at everybody who even seems like they might be taking the other side. That's why he's accumulating charges, I believe. Some of them he overstepped and probably are worthy charges. Some of them are just reactions and they're trying to stack charges. I don't know the count. I don't know each charge, Kentucky state law. I am certain if he's charged currently with 15 or 16, I am certain, and bookmark this, snip it. I am certain on October 2nd, 2025, that he will not be found guilty of 16 charges or 15. Somewhere between 1 and 10 is going to be my guess. Maybe less. Let's continue.
Posted a picture of JJ Scarborough's house that his minor child lived at on Facebook.
Okay. He no more knew that a minor child lived at the house that Meade County put up on their Facebook than we know if there really is a minor child at Chris Ryder's house. We don't know what's inside that house, who's inside that house. All Chris knew at the time was that Meade County published that house as an address for something going on in Meade County. Now, the next thing that we're going to hear about Chris Ryder does is kind of fucked up. No, it's very fucked up. But there's also an angle to it that this guy's thoroughly investigated.
On his account, and on top of the picture in context. Now I'm going to paraphrase because I don't remember exactly what it was said because I'm not looking at it right now. But something along the lines of, here's my address, Chris pretending that it's his address and telling.
Okay, yes. Many times I've gotten into it on live stream and on back and forth videos. I've told people, if you want a piece of this, come to my address. It's 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, Northwest, Washington, D.C. Come get me. Am I trying to swat a president or a presidential staff of the United States of America? Because that address is the White House. The address Chris Ryder is talking about is an address publicly posted by Meade County. It's a real address, and at the time, it's really associated with real people. I think at one time I did that thing was under the Biden administration. Was I trying to swat Biden? One time I did it under the Trump administration. Was I trying to swat Trump? No. Despite my political leanings. I was bullshitting, joking, teasing anybody who wanted to come at me at the White House. I've also done the Washington Monument, Lafayette Park. Even one time, I actually used my own address. Hopefully that's buried in the archives of YouTube and it'll be very hard to find. But, yeah, I've done it.
People to essentially come and find him, and he'll be waiting in his underwear.
Okay, so if that's correct, what he's saying is Chris Ryder said he's waiting in his underwear, come get me. At an address, he has no idea who or what is inside. So he's not telling people to come at some minor girl. He's not telling people to come at JJ. He's telling people to come at him. If you're really stupid enough to come at him, I'm a little confused about, did he mean his own address or did he mean the address that Meade County published? I don't know. That's really fucking stupid because he knows there are people out there in the internet stupid enough to come after him while he's in his underwear. And what are they going to find? Possibly JJ's family. So that's pretty fucked up, Chris Ryder. However, I think it's going to be a hard time for them to he actually said the address. Okay. It would be a hard time to convince a jury that he meant anybody other than himself or anybody who would attack him any harm. However, it is fucked up. I'm not saying it's not fucked up. There are people out there on the internet that would possibly do just that. And by the way, if you went to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue Northwest, you're not going to hurt anybody but yourself, because that's one of the most secure places on the planet. Unless the National Guard's protecting it from drones. Sorry, had to throw that in there.
Okay. That's why he has charges.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not fucked up. It is fucked up. And I kind of lost track of where I was. They said that's why he has charges. Yes, because he pissed people off. Some of the charges I think will stick, and some of the charges I think are bullshit, charge stacking. I think I'm being redundant. Let's continue.
And then the subsequent charges that followed all those up was because he doubled down and posted more information and did it again.
He got stupid and cocky that the address was a Meade County related address, not his own. He went too far. He doubled down. Okay.
These are not.
I was watching happen on Facebook. It was crazy. I actually haven't looked for stuff on Facebook. I use Facebook simply to plug my YouTube channels, and I haven't done it in a while. So yeah, I don't follow this drama on Facebook. No one has charged it was posted on Facebook. No one has changed it. No one has changed it was posted on Facebook. Okay. The Meade County posting or the Chris Ryder posting, I'm not sure. Either way, at one time it was on the Meade County's posting. Not that Chris Ryder was in his underwear, come get him. But yes, at one time that address, that picture of that house was on the Meade County website. I don't know if it's still there or not. I really don't care. I don't know JJ. I don't know JJ's daughter. I don't know Chris. I don't know Chris's stepson. I don't know any of these people. I'm trying to get out of this drama, but I'm just following through with my promise to finish this response. Finkel, you want the documents? What, like email me or? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, if you want to send them to me, I can email the documents that you are speaking of currently. Sure. The email address is I like kimchi, KIMCHI 91. That might be easy to remember because in 1991 I was in Korea and that's when I learned to like kimchi. I showed it on my channel. Okay. At gmail.com. It's also on my main channel. I think if you click on the email thing and prove you're not a robot, I think it's there too. Or Killamilla has the address. Kimchi is good. But when it's made right, you're not going to get a lot of kisses. It's stinky to the Western palate. It really is. Jer Bear, how you doing? All right.
This is not bullshit charges, dude.
Okay.
You can't post people's addresses and then encourage people to show up there.
It's not nice. Is it illegal? If you have words about that, come meet me at my home at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue Northwest. Okay, I think I've drilled that point into the ground. It's not nice. Is it illegal? Is it against YouTube TOS? Yeah, I don't know. It's been done many, many times without charges. I know that.
That's like Lane posting my property address right here. Had I called and made an issue about that?
Oh, his property address is out there. I think I did a response video to his 100 bounty for someone auditing Ryder's house. I'm like, okay, I'll give a $500 bounty if someone audits his property, legally, of course. Send it as a PDF form. Okay, not a pedophile, a PDF. All right, I'll check it out. It's not a priority, but I will check it out because the truth is, I have no vested interest. I do have a curiosity interest, so I will look at it. I don't have a vested interest of who wins this battle, JJ or Chris Ryder. I do have a preference that in the battle GS has with Chris Ryder, that GS wins that one because that also is some bullshit, in my opinion. It shows the pictures and comments made by Chris Ryder and the house shown. Okay. But is it the house that, well, okay. Is it the same house that was on Meade County's website? I don't know, but yeah, I have no doubt that Chris Ryder showed that picture. None. And if you roll back earlier in this, I accidentally showed a street address, but it's on Kentucky's State Department's website. Did I dox that address? Accidentally, possibly, but it's not something it's already out there in the public domain. Maybe I'll get a privacy strike for this video. I don't know. But I will show YouTube where it is in the public domain. Heard he copyright struck you in regards to the phone call. Is that true? No, not copyright. He tried to privacy strike me for it, and it was a swing and a miss. Yes, he did. Well, let me back up. The email I got from YouTube did not say Chris Ryder or for public safety, but who else would privacy strike a conversation between me and Chris? Possibly Tiffany, but it didn't actually show me who. And I think there's a video there where I show the email. It shows that someone complained that I violated privacy rules, and it's still up there. Well, both the recording video and the reaction video to the attempted privacy strike. They're listening to you, Ronnie Rebel. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm missing a lot of the chat. DirecTV is literally saying exactly what I was saying. Who's DirecTV? DirecD? That's this guy. Okay. Exactly what I was saying. He just said what he would have charges if somebody was upset enough and petty enough. Oh my God, laugh out loud. I don't know. I'm going to push play again.
That's you don't think that they're going to arrest him and charge him with that shit, Finkel?
They already did charge him, but okay.
I'm just this fucking YouTuber. We're talking about a government official here. You're posting their address and encouraging people to show up.
Now I'm thinking about it. That street address was after a P.O. box number, so that street address may be a UPS store or United States Post Office. I don't know. Hopefully it is, because that even reduces the chances of me getting privacy struck for doxing that address.
Finkel's one of the ones that thinks that this is some thumbnail bullshit. Because
no, I do believe the thumbnail stirred some reactions which inspired them to move further. I don't think there's any charges for the thumbnail. And I think he's talking about the thumbnail where JJ's face is superimposed under a KKK hat. You sound much improved. Well, thank you. I still can't whistle. I can smile a little bit better. I can definitely wink. I was flirting with the ladies yesterday with the right eye wink. It is improving. Yes, DirecTV, laugh out loud. I told you I hate my damn talk to text. Oh, okay. DirecTV. Okay. All right. I got you. Man, being an old fogey like me and use your keyboard.
Because you've heard this on repeat from Chris over and over and over and over, and your ability to critically think.
Actually, the silliness that there was an actual charge for the thumbnail, and I agree that's silliness, and I agree that's not a charge. came to me from, well, it's now called Hill Pirate Studios. At the time, it was called Fine Fix Finished Productions, and I didn't buy it then. I don't buy it now. And if it was a charge, I don't buy that it would be found guilty by a jury. I do believe it inspired anger and a reaction, pushing for some of those other, what you called stacked charges. I call them bullshit charges. Okay.
Is not there, dude. That's why, I hate to say it, but you're a fucking standard military vet that
This got me.
you've let other people think for you for so long.
I'm a standard military vet. I let other people think for me for so long. I was like falling asleep when I heard that, and I'm like, what? Okay. I'm going to defend myself, and then I'm going to own that I'm a standard military vet. Let's hear that one more time.
Dude, that's why, I hate to say it, but you're a fucking standard military vet that you've let other people think for you for so long that you have an inability to do it yourself anymore.
Okay. I'm a standard military vet who let other people think for me for so long that I don't know how to think for myself. This is coming from the guy who earlier in the same video explained that he lived a very protected childhood and identified, I'm not trying to be mean here, after that protected childhood, he became a felon himself because he didn't know how to think for himself. He crossed the lines and got himself at least 5 years in prison. Has he had other charges after that? I don't know. I don't really care. And I'm not making fun of, you got arrested, charged, and convicted and served time. I'm not making fun of that. I'm reacting to the accusation that my military career of 2.5 years National Guard, 6 months Naval Reserve, 6 months, 4 years Navy, and 10 years Army, and 2 more years of inactive ready reserve. That is 2.5, 3, 7, 17. And if you count out the inactive ready reserve, which I didn't do anything, that's 19 years. I'm 60 years old. I did things before the military, not great things, and I did things after the military. Not great things, but a lot of things where I'm thinking for myself. I didn't live a protected childhood. Yeah, when you're lower ranks in the military, yeah, a lot of other people do the thinking for you, but that's a very small part of my life. I have now been since the military, out of the military longer than my entirety time in the military. I left the military in 1998. If you count my inactive ready reserve time, which I don't think counts because I didn't do anything for the military, it expired in 2000. It's 2025. I have 25 years post inactive ready reserve. I have 27 years post military. Compare that to the time I was in the military. Now let's see what I've done since the military. Keep in mind, I'm a guy who was trained by the military to not think for myself. First of all, once I reached a certain rank, I didn't just think for myself, I thought for the people below me. This is how it works in the military, Christopher Ruff. While you were in prison and people were thinking for you, I'd reached a stage in my military career where I am following orders. Some people are thinking for me, but I'm thinking for myself and I'm thinking for the troops below me. I had to make sure a dipshit private would have to have enough pairs of clean socks for a deployment so that in between laundry runs or the ability to wash our own socks in the infantry, where your feet are one of your most valuable assets, I had to make sure these kids who didn't think for themselves, I had to think for them, make sure they have their socks, make sure they have their bullets. But that's just a little piece of it. Since the military, I hear the term someone peaked out when they were in the military, or someone peaked out when they were in a high school football team, someone peaked out at this point or that point. When I ETS'd the military in 1998, my peak had not yet come. Am I at my peak now? I don't know. But by the time, let me see, military, GAO, Red Cross, NGO. Yeah. By 2004, my federal income tax paid exceeded my pay as a Sergeant E5 in the military. My taxes alone exceeded my total income. Are you following here? So that wasn't my peak, and I've considerably moved forward since then. But most of my life, most of my post-military life, I am doing things that, well, I don't know. I'm not trying to be mean here, Christopher Ruff. But have you reached your peak? What are you, 40 something? I'm guessing because of your face filter. I'm not being sarcastic there. You claimed early on in this video that I'm reviewing now that what we're seeing is the result of a face filter. So I don't know your age. Have you peaked out yet? Have I peaked out yet at 60? I don't know. I thought I'd peaked out at 33 when I left the military. Each year, my peak increased. Am I thinking for myself, or am I doing what an employer told me to do? Well, I've had employees under me. Currently, I don't. Well, maybe that was my peak when I had employees under me. I don't know. Yeah, the idea for someone who's accomplished apparently what this man has accomplished, telling people like me who were in the military somewhere in their past, don't know how to think for themselves. Right now, I'm finding that offensive, and I would translate that to embracing it. Yeah, people told me what to do for 17 years, 25 years ago. Okay. Okay, enough about that. But if you served in the military for a 2-year or 4-year enlistment, if you were drafted in, say, Vietnam and you did your 24 months, this guy thinks of you as someone who cannot think for themselves because at one part of your life, someone told you what to do and how to do it and when to do it. Okay. Let that sink in and let's push play.
You haven't broken out of that mind frame.
I haven't broken out of that mind train. Yeah. Specialist Finkel, police up the cigarette butts outside the barracks. I remember that, but I've long since broken out of that mind train. Badger, can you respond to my statement about this veteran comment? Okay, let me see. My brother's keeper, by the way, scanning for GS. That statement is incongruent with logic. Oh, is that what you're saying? Okay. That statement is incongruent with logic. We are not Russians. Thank you, GS. The perfect army, I believe, would have the enlistees, E4 and below, of the Russians, the NCOs of the United States Army, and the officers of the British Army. But yeah, the Russians, we are trained next man up style. Yeah, exactly. In the United States, a leader in the military usually, okay, I get it, sometimes not always, but usually to get to his leadership position, he has done everything that he's telling his subordinates to do. You don't get to be a sergeant unless you've been a specialist. You don't get to be a specialist unless you've been a private or a PFC. You don't get to be a corporal unless you excelled at being a specialist. You don't get to be a sergeant unless you've been, okay, I'm over-explaining it, but yeah, very good point. The idea that just because I graduated basic training twice, Navy and Army, that I can't think for myself. I felt offended when I heard that, and I'm kind of snarkily responding that to that now, and I see other veterans feel the same way. And I'm pretty sure we haven't had the draft in a long time, but someone who's drafted for the Vietnam conflict, or even there's still some surviving today, the Korean conflict. If you're drafted for your 24 months obligated military service, and you're the age where you are a survivor of the Korean conflict, this man is telling you that you can't think for yourself. All right. Okay. I'm trying to bring the calm. Last night I had an epiphany that my YouTube activities of all the snark and drama and screaming at people is not good for my spiritual condition. So before I came to that epiphany, I did make this promise that I would finish this. So that's what I'm doing now. And I'm trying to avoid the drama. But yeah, I have a human reaction to being told that something I did for a minority of my life is causing the ability that I can't think for myself. Now, when I heard that I was a crackhead, I laughed. When I heard that I can't think for myself, because I served, not in prison, but in the military, it kind of hurt, but I'm going to embrace it now.
Old fucking crackhead.
Okay, yeah, crackhead. That's really what's in these vapes is crack cocaine.
What's not true?
Is responding to Grandma Wolf, Mayflower Kid. I'm not sure who's responding. He's got his chat showing here, even though I don't have the actual chat. This is being displayed.
Yeah, he's
all right. I do, however, see a point of a prisoner like Brooks in Shawshank Redemption. That's a movie I never watched. I got to watch that. Was institutionalized. So perhaps he's speaking about the Marines. Oh. I was never a Marine. I know a few Marines. And yes, we like to rib each other. The Marines, Army, Navy, Air Force, and I'm guessing the Space Force is in on it too now. I didn't know anything about a Space Force when I was in. But yeah, my first PTSD group therapy, they asked me to introduce myself and my branch of service, and then go around the room and everyone else introduce themselves and the branch of service. And I said, okay, I'm the real name for David Finkel, and I'm a veteran of the United States Navy and a veteran of the United States Army. And they went around the room, and each person identified their name and their branch of service. And we got to the last guy in the corner of the room. He said, before I go on, can I ask, what was your branch again? I said, Navy and Army. He says, oh, I'm still the only real man in the room. And he identified as a Marine. And everyone laughed. And I didn't realize it, but there was an ongoing inner service zinging back and forth. And he identified as a real man because he was a Marine. And Narvi, Narvi, dude. He identified as a real man because he was a Marine and didn't see other Marines, other services as real men. He was joking, or maybe half joking, I don't know. But as we got to know each other, the Army and Marine and the Navy and Marine jokes were flying back and forth. Like, what does it sound like when shit hits the fan? Marine. Of course, I was never again volunteer yourself, Navy or Army, U.S. Army. Uncle Sam ain't released me yet. Yeah, there's a million of them. But my Marine buddy, in a more serious tone, explained to me, yeah, when you get into Marine Corps basic training, they want you to think like robots. In other words, they don't want you to think. They want you to do what you're told to do, but it is their aim. They don't really consider you a Marine until you get to the point where you feel confident enough that when the drill instructor says something wrong, you can correct them on it. Respectfully, but correct them on it. The Marines don't want robots once you're taught to think and act like a Marine. Now, that was that guy's take on it, and being that I've never been to Marine Corps basic training, I've only seen it on TV. I don't know if that is accurate or not. Yeah. So perhaps he was speaking about Marines. Love that, GS. I love that. Okay. I didn't say a word about him for 5 months, but he continued. Oh, yeah. What's his name? Chris Ryder. Yes. And this isn't being mean. This is an honest assessment as I perceive it. He defends himself, and then in his defense of himself, he overreacts and he sees anybody who may even possibly be on the side of that who's attacking you, he makes them their enemy, and he overreacts to them, and he overreacts to them. Even a guy like me, who's been supportive of him in his battle against JJ and Ray Wyatt and situations like that. Even though I support him through all that, just getting along with GS, just super chatting GS, just having kind words about GS, all of a sudden I became one of those enemies. Every Marine is meant to be a rifleman first and foremost, even the ladies. Oh, that would be rifle girl, wouldn't it? Yes. After the Navy, I considered the Air Force and the Marine Corps. And one of the things that turned me away from the Marine Corps was that I would have to repeat basic training. I've already been through Navy basic training and Army basic training. I'd have to go through basic training again. And while I was in the first 8 weeks of basic training, I would not receive a paycheck. I had a wife and 2 kids at the time. I kind of sort of needed a paycheck for those 8 weeks. And I would have to start back out as E1. I get it, E4 is not a very high rank, but, I felt that I've earned the E4 pay grade, not rank, pay grade, and start back out as an E1. Now, he did assure me that I would accelerate fast. Well, anyway, the 8 weeks without pay was the actual basic training. But something else every Marine goes through is after basic training is what we in the Army infantry would call AIT. But every Marine goes through this infantry course, which was not quite as long as Army AIT for the infantry, but apparently covered the same kind of stuff. And then you go to whatever the Marine Corps' equivalent is to an actual AIT. So you're already an infantryman in the Marine Corps before you become a weatherman, a cook, a mechanic, whatever job skill you have in the Marine Corps. Before you get to that job skill, you are first a Marine and second an infantryman. And I'm probably over. See, I digress so easy. There were a few folks from my camp that raised an eyebrow when we were being friendly, but not the pushback you got from your camp. That's true. I took some. Well, in my camp was for public safety. I can pretty surely say he's not in my camp anymore, nor am I in his. Yeah, I got all kinds of pushback. I got mild pushback. I got jocular pushback. I got some mean pushback for public safety, angry vet. And well, some people have ignored me. And I have not seen one person in GS's chat or someone from GS's chat trash GS for being on a friendly basis with me. Not one. Apparently he's gotten some raised an eyebrow. He's got a few raised eyebrows, but not the kind of pushback I got. And when I say the kind of push, I have a plethora. I have the silent treatment. I have the, what the hell are you doing, man? I've had the, how dare you go against me? How dare you give him money he's going to use against me? I've gotten the full spectrum of people like disagreeing with me, agreeing with GS. GS says a lot of good stuff. He says a lot of stuff that I think is not so good. He's ideologically on the right side of the aisle. I'm ideologically on the left side of the aisle. I think we've come to awareness that the left and the right do overlap quite often in the middle, especially when it comes to patriotism, love of country. We're not seeing that right now across the river. Those fuckers have the government shut down, and everyone's blaming somebody else. And I'm getting sidetracked. Let's play some more Christopher Ruff at 21 minutes and 5 seconds.
Gonna get himself in some trouble.
Who's going to get himself into me?
Yeah, he's gonna get himself in some trouble.
He who? Let me go back a little bit further.
What's not true?
Somebody said something's not true. Can't see it in his chat. Oh, Mayflower says not true. Okay. And he says, what's not true?
Yeah, he's gonna get himself in some trouble.
Not sure who's going to get himself in trouble, but so far, I'm not.
Tomorrow we're gonna do some live streams on DirectD about these prosecutors. They have till noon Kentucky time.
Okay, this is 3 days ago. He was giving a deadline of noon Kentucky time. So I guess that would be 2 days ago. What's today? Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday. So what's going to happen if the prosecutors don't do what you want to do by noon on Tuesday?
To do something, and then if they don't, then they're going.
What's the something? What is it that he wants the prosecutors to do? As I understand it, there's some kind of mediation meeting. I didn't really follow it, so I don't know. Did the prosecutors do what Chris Ruff wanted them to do?
Going to go all over my YouTube channels.
Oh, it's going to go all over his YouTube channels. Yes. One time, several months ago, I did review him, and all over his YouTube channels, he was watching a video that somebody else posted, and the lady he didn't like the reaction of, he was going to make famous. And I predicted then accurately that several months later, say as of October 2nd, 2025, I don't remember this famous lady's name. So I don't think he really exacted any change or fame or notoriety, in my opinion. It's going to take 15 business days to get through. Actually, whatever I don't get through today, you all know the link. Actually, I'll put the link out there. You can come to your own conclusion. He does not do 3 hours and 37 minutes on me. And I forget when he stopped talking about me. All I really care about, it's about me, man. I'm a narcissist.
Because you don't get to neglect your job. You definitely do not get to neglect your job. And
so a citizen of Arizona is going to tell a prosecutor in Kentucky whether they're doing something that's neglectful or rightful. Okay.
And the video that he's talking about that I watched is the one that maybe you were in here and you watched with us when he was in the car talking to Chris on the phone. Chris said that he met with the prosecutors in the library at like some secret meeting. That meeting itself is a problem for them.
Now, before that phone call, I think I recall Chris talking about it on YouTube. I could be wrong.
It's all bad. It's just all bad. It's all bad for Chris. It's all bad for the prosecutors. And my focus is on the prosecutors. That's why DirectD even exists. Expose the prosecutors, expose the judges, expose the cops. Okay.
Okay, so he's a cop watcher or an authority watcher. I got 22 in the audience right now. I didn't watch much on Tuesday or Wednesday. In fact, I spent a good chunk of Wednesday doing this and other drama. What happened from that mediation? Did the prosecutors do what Christopher Ruff wanted? And did Christopher Ruff make those prosecutors famous? I don't know because I haven't watched. If any of the 22 of you did watch Tuesday or Wednesday, what's today, Thursday? Yeah, Tuesday or Wednesday. Do you guys know the prosecutors' names? Did he make them famous? Did he do something to exact change? Or did he just do what he's doing now, just talk about it? I had 28 pages of signage laws in Kentucky. I asked Chris which laws we had broke. Oh, Chris Ryder reacts with everything's a crime against him. So I don't know what laws he's accusing you of breaking, but I don't know. Do you have any charges pending right now? I just wanted him and Tiff to tell me the KRS that he was referring to, and he couldn't. I would think by now he'd be quite the expert on Kentucky state law. I would think. He's too busy negatively reacting to anyone that has any question or disagreement with him. You become an enemy. You become a criminal. So, yeah.
Not just in Arizona, but around the country. And I just so happen to have two prosecutors in Kentucky that are failing to do their job. And as a result of them failing to do their job, there has been 6 months of nothing but fucking harassment coming from old Griftifer to a shitload of people.
Now, they're failing to do their job. And we on the left think that the almost Supreme Court justice who became the Attorney General, we all thought that he failed to do his job in prosecuting Donald J. Trump in between Donald J. Trump's administrations. And because of his delay, we felt that that gave Donald J. Trump a chance to run again. And, sad for us, he won again. That's a Christopher Ryder type overreaction. The truth is, the Attorney General at the time had to be very thorough. He was going after an ex-president. He had to make sure he had all his T's crossed and all his I's dotted. And that shit takes time. When you dogpile 15 charges on Chris Ryder because he committed 1 or 2 crimes and you're angry, you have a very similar reaction to Chris Ryder as he has to everyone around him. It takes time. But Mr. Ruff, like Fraud at Wrangler, was impatient. He wants action now. Like us on the left, when it came to Donald J. Trump's prosecution, we want action now. We all got to learn a little patience because the wheels of justice do turn slow. Hell, it took a long time for prosecutors to get to Fraud at Wrangler to ship him back to, where was it, Alabama?
Do you know the amount of fucking emails and complaints and text messages I've gotten about this little shit for the last 6 months?
Why are people emailing and texting you and complaining to you about what a man in Indiana involved in Kentucky? Why are they bugging you about it? I get it. They bug me about shit too. Hell, they bugged me and told me that you were a stoner ripping me a new asshole. Not my words. People feel like that I can exact change. I cannot exact change on Christopher Ruff. I cannot exact change on Chris Ryder. I cannot exact change on J.J. Scarborough. I did see a little bit over a year ago that I can get a reaction out of him. But what's the point in that? You got a reaction. Yay. That's part of this unspiritual drama bullshit that we're all playing. And I include me in we are all. I'm sorry, Jess, I include you. My brother's keeper, Ronnie Rubble, Seven Cities Kid. We are all guilty of overplaying the drama. And the truth is, most of us are not changing anything. We're just keeping the drama going.
This wouldn't be a problem if the prosecutors had done their job. When he caught new charges that should have violated his bond, just like it would have violated mine or yours.
Yeah, I'm not a criminal, so I don't know how that works. But I would think the idea of being innocent until proven guilty, just because you're on bond and you get new charges, I would think you'd have to be proven guilty of those charges, at least indicted, if not proven guilty, for you to. And what are the conditions of his bond? I don't know. We thought the conditions of Fraud at Wrangler's bond was he couldn't leave the state. Well, he'd been for the better part of 2 years in Oklahoma. His charges were in Alabama. And at least one time he made a trip, even if he got special permission to be in Oklahoma, he went to Kentucky and Indiana. There's a picture of him out there somewhere standing at a restaurant or bar near Chris Ryder's home in Lanesville, Indiana. He's allegedly on bond in in Alabama. He's freely moving about the country. So we don't really know what people's bond conditions are, if they have any. Or maybe you, okay, sarcasm almost come out. Maybe you do know. Maybe you have more cognitive skills than me. I don't know.
But instead of doing their jobs, they've allowed more victims to be created. They're potentially allowing children to be harmed. According to Chris himself, he had a child prostitute over at his house.
I don't believe the child prostitute story one bit. Did it really happen? I don't believe it. But by the way, Chris Ryder, if you're watching, the first time I heard about another child in your house was by you saying, how dare they bring a prostitute to my house when I have this child here? I didn't dox the fact that you have a child there, if that is a fact. You did.
That wouldn't have been.
I'm talking to him like he's here. I don't think he's here because he would be. He can't help himself. He reacts. So he's not here right now.
Possible had he had the prosecutors done their job. So that's what we're going to do tomorrow. If they don't do tomorrow's their fucking golden. That's the end of it.
I think when he said this, the tomorrow would have been Tuesday. It's Thursday. I should have checked the chat, see if did he exact any change since Tuesday. Sounds like exaggerating, extrapolating. Yeah, we all exaggerate. Has them unedited. I don't. Oh, good morning, Muckster. Up at 4 o'clock in the morning, posting songs. I don't think Chris could chat. Oh, is it a permanent block? I know we blocked him yesterday, and then he popped back up. I'm like, I guess the block isn't very long. See what he didn't have to do. I have the whole video, and it's not bleeped out. Oh. All right, let's continue.
I've
Don't worry, guys. He doesn't go on about me or even situations I'm aware of for the whole 3 hours. I think we're near the end.
been itching to fucking say something about these two worthless tax leeches, but I've been told not to. Okay, I've been told not to say.
You've been told not to, and you're doing it. Well, I guess you do think for yourself. Okay.
Anything. But we're getting to a point where I'm going to anyway. So
you already did.
that's why they have till 12.
All right. But I asked to chat one more time. There's still 20 in here. Did anything happen after 12 Tuesday Eastern time, or is Kentucky Eastern or Central? Why would anybody care what this worthless piece of fell things anyway? The reason I'm doing this is because I told people I would, so I'm considering a commitment. I'm trying to do it with as little sarcasm and snark and meanness as I can. I'm human. I'm failing on many points there. Failing 30. Okay, Eastern and no. Okay, they are Eastern time, so nothing happened. Okay, maybe a few videos got put out, but the prosecutors weren't apparently held accountable as Chris Ruff implied they would be if they didn't reach his arbitrary deadline. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm trying to point out that when we do this YouTube drama, we're not as important as we think we are. And when I say we, I mean yours truly included.
Hard to listen to any of that PDF. Yeah. The dude's a weirdo, man. Goes on the internet and just randomly admits that he had a child prostitute at his house. What?
No, he wasn't admitting, he was accusing, and I believe falsely, of someone else sending the alleged child prostitute to his alleged house while there was alleged other children at his house. He didn't admit, he accused, and I believe falsely.
Then he's literally documented as hanging out with multiple pedophiles. Not one, multiple. This isn't a guess or.
All right. You, and I'm not trying to be mean, you did 5 years in prison around or for a 2011 crime. I don't know, have the exact dates, but 5 years in prison. Therefore, you're a convicted felon. I don't know who you're calling a pedophile, but I know of at least one case where a guy was like 17 or 18 years old, and he dated a girl who was like 15 or 16. When you're 17 or 18-year-old, 15 or 16 is really not that unnatural, but some states can consider it illegal. So 15, 16, 17, 18, let's say he was 19. That's a 4-year difference. You know, my sweetie, who's currently not talking to me, is 10 years older than me. You know, when you're 30 and you're dating a 15-year-old, we got a problem. When you're 18 or 19 and you're dating a 15-year-old, it's not such a big problem. However, some states and some situations will press the issue and put you on record as being a pedophile or a sex offender. I know of at least one case where that's the situation. Now, he's saying there's multiple cases. I don't know what he's talking about because he knows everything and I don't. I just know of one example where the guy accused, well, okay, when he was like 18 or 19, a few years, yeah, it breached a legal line, but is it really breaching a moral line? I don't really think so.
Or a slander. This is documented on the fucking internet. Him and his old lady have been hanging out with fucking pedophiles. Then he's constantly talking about children, and then he just has a child prostitute at his house. Yeah. Fuck this dude.
The allegation, the accusation isn't that he invited or called for a prostitute to come. The accusation is that somebody out there sent him the prostitute to get him in trouble or put him in an embarrassing situation. I don't believe any of it. I don't believe a 14-year-old prostitute was ever at Chris Ryder's home. But, you know, that's just me. Ruff called the prosecutor live. Prosecutor's not going to do a damn thing just because you called them. The prosecutor's going to do what the prosecutor does. You're not going to influence the prosecutor.
No.
I'm tired of you two people accusing everybody of being pedophiles. That's their favorite insult. Yeah, when you say someone's a pedophile, that sticks a lot harder than when you just say you're a retard or you're a druggie or you're an alkie or you're a crackhead. That doesn't really stick with people. But when you say someone's a pedophile, that kind of, there's a natural sticking point there, and people do it. You tinge. I don't know what that means. You tinge. Okay, I'm going to push play again. Tube, damn it, phone tube. Oh, okay. We have someone else talking to text. Use your keyboard, man. All right.
And then I can give you some of my plans because they're
YouTube, not YouTube. Okay, all right.
unfolding as we speak. It's 10 o'clock Sunday night in Arizona, so it's
So he's talking about noon Monday, not noon Tuesday. He did this on Sunday night. Well, he was right. I eventually did watch it. He predicted, yeah, I know you're watching. Yeah, well, okay. I'm being sarcastic again. Okay.
it's already Monday in some places. So we're talking a matter of hours to do this. And if
Monday,
it doesn't happen,
the deadline was noon Monday. Wow. Okay.
I'm in a live stream all day tomorrow. And then by Thursday or
He's going to live stream all day Monday. Did he live stream all day Monday? Not going to judge. There's nothing wrong with people. People think that I reached my peak in my military career. People think that I haven't learned how to think since the military or even during my military career. They have the time to live stream all day. And by the way, review my videos.
Or Friday, at the end of next week, I'm going to have a video put together that's going on DirectD. It's not going to go on here. I'm doing a full edit for DirectD about this situation, and Todd's going to be in it. Generally Specific is going to be the
Oh, Todd, you still GS, you still here? He's going to review you.
subject of my video, so I'm going to give his channel a boost from DirectD, and we're
He's going to review you in a positive light. Okay, all right.
going to explain the story of how an online troll in weird individual has been harassing a military vet for literally the last 6 months because
I got to tell you, if you're talking about for public safety here, he doesn't really care about people's veteran status. Yeah, he'll pretend like he does, but whether you're a military one enlistment or a military careerist or anywhere in between, he doesn't really care. And quite frankly, I don't think being a military vet should buy you any special situations beyond a parking spot at Lowe's, veterans only, or some VA benefits like assistance on a home loan. And if you've had military incurred injuries, medical treatment to address those issues caused by the military. Other than that, something I did for 17 years out of my 60 years should not define me. I served, and all that service isn't altruistic. It wasn't, when I started serving, I was really doing it for me, for my social status, for my economic status. So am I a better person because I'm a military veteran? No. Are people worse people because they're military veterans? No. A military veteran, especially when you reach my age of 60, is no different from anyone else who has 60 years of life experience. There's teachers and doctors and lawyers and criminals. There's people who cleaned up trash on the streets. There's people who work in soup kitchens, libraries. And if you're 60 years old, like I am, none of those things that you've done in the past define you or are the total definer of your character. There's good veterans, there's bad veterans, there's good non-veterans, and there's bad non-veterans. Let's continue.
2 prosecutors have failed to do their job. So
what Ruff wants is what he wants when he wants it. He thinks he's setting the timeline for something that's going on several states away.
that's what's going on. Monday's going to be live streams, and then from then till it's not backwards. And then from then till Thursday or Friday is when I'm going to put a video together about All
right, it's Thursday. So sometime today or tomorrow, he's going to have some kind of shocking video that's going to change the world, or at least Kentucky. Somehow I doubt that. I mean, yeah, there'll be a video, I'm sure. If he said sometime today or tomorrow, there'll be a video sometime today or tomorrow. I don't think it's going to change anything except for continue everyone talking about it. Like me, Monday, Tuesday, 4 days later. Well, it started 3 days later. Okay.
the shit that's been going on with Todd, the false fucking protection orders, trying to weaponize the.
Yeah, that is okay. So he is talking about GS there. Yeah, the shit that for public safety is pulling on GS, I think, is bullshit, and apparently so does. So the crackhead and the pothead came to the same conclusion that the shit for public safety is pulling on GS is bullshit. I get a reaction video, but calling the police on you, trying to get your constitutional rights removed in a protective order, that's some bullshit. You know, if you don't like what somebody says on YouTube and you have to lash out about it, do a YouTube video, but don't expect it to change anything. maybe a few opinions out there. JJ is the star of this shit show. Actually, we haven't mentioned JJ in a little bit here.
The courts calling the police on him, all this fucking dumb shit. And somebody,
Yeah, dumb shit. Yeah, okay. Potheads and crackheads agree. It is dumb shit.
put it to me a good way. They said that, you know, this moron Chris needs an enemy. Okay, when
we agree on that too. He needs enemies. He thrives on having conflict, or he thinks he's thriving. Actually, it's fucking up his emotional and spiritual condition, and he's digging himself deeper. Yeah, the bullshit charges will continue to stack up, some real, some bullshit, because he's fishing for and he's getting negative reactions. I don't get it. It's like one of these women who are abused in a relationship. They get out of that relationship, they escape it, and then move right into another abusive relationship. I don't really understand the mentality of women who do that, but something inside them just keeps going back for that abuse. Chris Ryder's like an abused woman. Yeah, he was abused in his past, but now he's seeking out more abuse, and I don't understand it. I can't wrap my hand around it. Maybe because I'm a crackhead. I don't know. So I'm looking to this pothead for guidance. I'm being sarcastic again. I apologize.
When Faggot Wrangler went to prison, he lost.
I heard this last night, and I had a reaction.
You know, this moron Chris needs an enemy. Okay, when Faggot Wrangler went to prison,
Faggot Wrangler. He means fraud at Wrangler, and I don't like fraud at Wrangler at all. I see him as a murderer of a Marine. Okay. The veteran status doesn't really matter. I see him as a murderer. Well, first of all, I lean left, so if someone's a homosexual, that's their business. I don't believe Fraud at Wrangler was a homosexual, and I don't believe you should refer to people of the homosexual persuasion as faggot. I went over this with Jeffrey Appleby of Hill Pirate Studios, calling GE Swag GE Fag. Now, GE Swag and Fraud at Wrangler have something in common from my point of view. I don't like them. But never would I, except for using an example, call GE Swag GE Fag or Fraud at Wrangler Faggot Wrangler, because one, I don't like the bigoted, demeaning use of the word fag, and I don't think either one of them are actually homosexual. Fraud at Wrangler did seem like he was defensive of homosexuals because his pretend wife, Kimmy, her son was apparently openly gay. The only time I heard Fraud at Wrangler use the term faggot. No, not faggot. What do you say? Oh, it was, I can't remember it now. Something about him and his gay friends when he was always so defensive about people putting down gay. Okay, whatever you think about gay, GE Swag Jeff is not gay. And actually, Jeff, you have a good friend on your panel who is openly gay. How can Jeff use a term like fag when one of his closest YouTube friends is homosexual? How can, I don't know much about Mr. Ruff, how can you diminish a diminished man? He's a felon, he's a murderer, he's a piece of shit in many ways. Fraud at Wrangler as fag. I went over the word fag the other day. In Britain, it can mean a cigarette, it can mean a specialized school, and in Germany, it can mean a ball-bearing factory, a company called FAG. The F has two little dots over it. I don't think he or Jeff mean any of those when they throw fag into someone's name or YouTube name. Yeah, I judge this as nonsensical attempt. I don't know, solicit a reaction. Oh, look, I'm typing in caps locks again. My name is the Be nice. Okay. Oh, look, you are learning how to get more people in your live chats. Laugh out loud. But I thought you weren't doing this for YouTube. Laugh out loud. Well, okay, Johnny come lately. Oh, wait, that's an insult. It's not an insult. If you watch this video in its entirety, shit, I'm already over 2 hours. I open up with a reminder that I'm trying to get away from the drama and that I had promised people I would finish this review. So I'm trying to finish this review without the drama. Yeah, I'm human. I do throw in a little sarcasm and snark and in your faces. Like I almost did when I saw your all caps locks. Angry vets. Yes, I'm going to continue. I think we're near the end of when he was talking about me. See me there on his screen, my handsome face. Oh, okay. GS is he's live right now on Subpar. All right. All right. Yeah. Okay. I just noticed that. All right. But this guy here, that's a handsome fellow, isn't he? All right. I just don't go in Raising Hell all the time. In Raising. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Chris Ryder does go in Raising Hell seemingly all the time.
He lost his enemy, so he needed a new one, and I became that.
Yes.
Oh, and he's been nothing but fuck with that dude since Faggot Wrangler went away.
Faggot Wrangler. Oh, okay. Yeah. So like crackhead, faggot's just your juvenile way of throwing an insult out there. If you want to insult Fraud at Wrangler, call him a murderer. Call him a felon. Oh, wait, you're a felon too. There's so much. Call him stolen valor. I was a staff sergeant. I walked 1,000,000 miles on a broken leg after my Humvee, my up-armored Humvee was doing 70 miles an hour across rugged terrain, and we got stopped instantly by a RPG. Very easy target. Why you got to go with the faggot thing? I don't know.
What up, Dev? How you doing?
If Chris goes to jail, it's because he went pro se and, is he doing this without an attorney now? Proves he is guilty, then is it just a trial? Is it a just trial? Well, we all have the right to choose our attorneys if we can afford them, or we have the right, if we can't afford them, to have the court appoint one for us, or we have the right to represent ourselves. If he's representing himself, he chose that. But I believe juries, if these charges go to trials, charges plural, trials plural, I believe there will be a mixed results of some juries, some trial will not convict, and some will. I don't know the count. My prediction is 10 or less he'll be found guilty of by a jury. What is it, 15 or 16? Some of them are bullshit and stacked. No, Finko, I was asking Ronnie. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm not real good at following the conversation in the chat. So I'm going to get back to Mr. Ruff here.
Use my goddamn lighter.
Oh, he's like the angry vet. Do you see that lighter? Don't be mean. Don't be mean. Those lighters are meant for candles, barbecue grills, things that you want to get an extension to light something. He's lighting a cigarette. Why not use a typical Bic or Zippo or... All right, that's really not a point. Okay, okay, all right, get off that, Finkel. A lot of dead space here. I think he's confused about something. I remember he opened up with he's got greater cognitive skills than me. Oh, now he's...
Yeah, I lost it.
He lost it.
Oh,
Okay.
oh no, I didn't. No, that's not it. There it is.
I found it. Okay. Not trying to be mean here, but that's the advanced cognitive skills he was explaining early on in this video. And like me, he's lost his train of thought. But what is he doing?
That Mayflower kid, yeah.
Mayflower kid.
Yeah.
I don't see what.
There's some good ones.
I followed the scuba.
But it's become a hot mess, and I don't fuck with that shit anymore.
Okay.
If you guys haven't noticed on the Direct Lead channel, we ain't really fucking talking about none of that nonsense anymore, is we?
I think he's done with me here.
And I don't intend to.
And the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Whatever he's talking about, he doesn't talk about anymore. I get it. He may talk about it again. It's an intention. It was my intention not to be dramatic and scornful and mocking, but we're human. We don't always follow through with our intentions. I don't remember. I think he's done with me. I don't know. Shall we fast forward a little bit and see if he starts talking about me again? I'm skipping in 5-second increments.
Port sickos.
Oh, there we go.
There's a bunch of them.
He has these long pauses like he's trying to rationalize something out. I don't know if that's what he's doing or reading the chat but he doesn't. Okay, I'm guilty of that too. I get distracted easily. Five seconds.
For sure. It's unfortunate, but what can you do? Nobody wants to point anything out. Nobody wants it's a joke. It's a joke. It's all a joke. I don't. I support a few different people outside of that. I got better shit to do with my time.
Like all day videos. Okay, yeah, I've done that too. There's something else he said that I want to cover, but I don't remember when he said it.
I don't think so. Actually, I'm going to disagree with you on that. A case can be made that this nonsense that you would call First Amendment auditing as a generalization is actually detrimental to the First Amendment.
That was one of them. It's not particularly about me. I do stuff in the format of a First Amendment audit, but I don't really consider it a First Amendment audit. I consider it a social experiment. But there's a lot of people out there who go out there with cameras and gauge public reaction. And there's liberals, there's conservatives, there's liars, there's honest people. There's honest people who accidentally get things wrong. There's angry people, there's friendly people. You can't really put what you call a First Amendment auditor all in one basket. There's people out there who think we're all frauditors, like Fraudit Wrangler. He thought Cartnarks was frauditors. He thought Finko was a frauditor. He thinks Chris Ryder's a frauditor. Basically, what he meant by that was one who commits fraud, he lies, for a profit while he's doing an audit. When he calls Finkel a frauditor, well, first, I don't make a profit off of it. I spend money on YouTube. I don't receive money on YouTube. And Cartnarks, they were trying to do a message, put your cart back. It's pretty fucking simple. Chris Ryder, he started out just documenting his efforts, and ended up just spiraling out of control and going after everyone, getting angry at everyone. So when you consider someone a First Amendment auditor, you're not considering, you can't say that they're all left or they're all right or they're all angry or they're all nice. There's not a cookie cutter for a First Amendment auditor, but a lot of people are coming to the incorrect conclusion that there is a cookie cutter explanation for slander for a profit is a crime. Well, if you consider me a frauditor, I don't profit. So slander, I don't say anything I believe to be untrue, like for example, he called Fraud Wrangler faggot wrangler. I don't believe Fraud Wrangler was gay or any kind of derogatory meaning of the word fag. And Jeff Appleby calls GE swag GE fag. And sometimes I get things wrong. I don't seek out to lie. I have been known to lie. I'm human. In the moment, hey, are you and Holly? No. Okay, that was a lie, and I quickly came back and admitted that was a lie. Sometimes I get things wrong. Ariel is in the house.
There's an argument to be made for that, and I'm making a video about that too.
Yay! I'm sorry, sarcasm.
Oh, why? I don't know, man.
Get back to me. It's all about me, man. I like crackheads. I am the crackhead. It's about me. Come on, let's get on with it.
There's a lot of reasons. That's nice.
Yeah, okay, it's getting boring, and there's too many opportunities for me to not be very spiritual, be mean, be sarcastic. I'm going to stop here. I will share the link if you're curious for yourself. Something tells me most of you have already seen this, but if you haven't, go ahead and watch it. Somewhere in this 3 hours, and I forget where, someone says, gee, it's taking you a long time to go over a 6-minute video. The video that he's laughing at, and quite frankly, he doesn't do much laughing. We need something to laugh at, and every now and then. He gets very angry in this. So that's not laughing. It's anger. And someone points out, how long does it take you to go over a 6-minute video? I'm 2 hours and 13 minutes into, I've gone over, well, today, about half that, 16 minutes. Yesterday, I went over 16 minutes. Now I'm 16 minutes more. So, instead of me reviewing and auditing this, you go ahead and watch it. I'll put the link in there again. And if you, come to your own conclusions. Is he laughing? Is he having a good laugh at my expense? I don't think so. Is he angry? I think so. Does he claim he's going to exact some kind of change? I think so. Does he exact some kind of change? No, he doesn't. So I'm going to stop right there. And I don't know. Maybe you guys are interested in chatting. I'm really not in the mood for drama. In fact, if you bring drama, I'll either ignore it, I'll go away, or I'll kick you out, or I'll just tolerate it. I'm going to try not to get involved in the drama, but let's open up the panel if anybody wants to join. It's 10:43. I want to give myself a self-imposed time limit of 11:30 Eastern. If we're still on this at 11:30 Eastern, I'm going to drop out. If you folks really care about justice, go volunteer at the ACLU and leave Chris and Tiffany alone. Well, I'd say leave GS alone. I'd say leave anybody you think that you're going after alone, because really, what's it all worth? I used to be very, very mean to GS. What change did I exact? None. GS was, for a while, very, very mean to me. What a change it exacts? None. What change or influence is Ruff going to put on the prosecutors? None. I can say fuck Trump all day long for 8 years, and he's still the fucking president. What change am I exacting? None. Finko's really the only one who's trying to be unbiased in this entire thing. Well, thank you, Miss Giggles. Is it? No, I don't know. Is it Mr. Giggles or Miss Giggles? We'll just call you Giggles because I don't know. Jonathan, good morning to you too. Did you enjoy Summer's? You subscribed to Summer? Did you enjoy the outreach? Shoot. I popped in real quick. I didn't stay long, but I can stop being a crackhead now. How do I change that? Mrs. Giggles. Okay. Well, thank you for your thank you for your opinion that I'm trying to be unbiased. I get biased. I'm human. I get biased. I get snarky. I get sarcastic, and I realize it's not good for me. It changed me back to just Finkel, and put the stream out. If you want to talk about anything, I'm open to it. Something tells me I'm not going to get a lot of volunteers because the 22 of you are still watching get it that I'm just not in the mood for drama. We can tell jokes, we can play uncopyrighted music, or we can even dabble with some copyrighted music and get shut down. Because at the end of the day, like the video I played that the guys did about 4 o'clock this morning, I don't really give a fuck. In their terms, we really don't care. Now, Finkel is not unbiased, whatever, laugh out loud. Biased, I'm human, and humans have biases. I'm trying to be unbiased. This is the point I think was made by Mrs. Giggles. Giggles, come on. Giggles, come on. Like, come on. Don't see how this perpetuates it all? You know what? Yeah, it is perpetuating the YouTube drama. That's fair. But I think her point is I'm trying to do the opposite. Even when I have fuck ICE on my t-shirt, because I'm not happy with the current ICE situation. I'm not happy with the current president either. What am I perpetuating there? Am I exacting change? Since I came out against ICE doing their thuggery, have they stopped doing their thuggery? No. Since I came out against Donald Trump, did he stop being president? No. No matter who I blame, Democrats or Republicans, for this current shutdown, is the current shutdown going to stop today? No. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. I'm working on it. The courage to change the things I can, which is not Christopher Ruff, Christopher Ryder, generally specific, J.J. Scarborough, Donald Trump. I can't change those things, those people. And the wisdom to know the difference. I'm starting to get the wisdom to know what I can change and what I can't change. What I can change is my behavior. Maybe eventually my addiction to nicotine. I changed my consuming alcohol one day at a time. Can I change this? I don't know. I'm going to try, but not today. Summer's in Louisville, and what I know about her, she's doing a good thing in that community. She is trying. And I popped in yesterday, and I saw she had a nice supply of Amazon wish list stuff, and they were feeding homeless people or people under in a lower economic status. She's feeding them hot food, not just chips and candy. She's done that too, but hot food. Thank you, Finkel, for crossing the line to be open to both sides like you used to be. Oh, you mean on YouTube? Yeah, because I still don't like this guy. I'm not going to change him. Yeah, Ronnie, I wish people would just wait and see what the courts decide. And it's hard. It's hard. You want to wait and see what the courts decide on Trump's 34 convictions of felony. Oh, we're going to drop it. I can't change that. Oh, you're talking about Chris Ryder and JJ and all that. 11:48. I'll hang out till 11:30. If anybody wants to talk, even if you guys want to talk about this, I'm just going to try to be foul. Just to be foul. I'm going to sit in my farm stand in Canada. I'm going to try to be foul. I don't do politics on YouTube, so that don't bother me. How about if I do this? We all come up if I do this? Now I could be a Redskins fan. No, not Redskins. Who wears red hats? MAGA. Yeah. You can assume this is a MAGA hat. Just wanted to stop by and say hello. Well, hello to you too. I'm going to grocery shopping for my mom. Have a good day. I don't know what your age group is or what your mom's group is, but it's always good to help moms out because moms gave us life. Whether they failed or succeeded after giving us life, our moms gave us life, and that right there is sacred. So, Chris Ryder, if you're watching, if you're 91, my mom's an octogenarian. She'll get there, hopefully, eventually. Chris Ryder, whatever you think of your mom, remember she gave you life. Try not to trash her out on the YouTube, on any social media. I get it. You're angry because in some areas you failed, in some areas you think she failed. If nothing else, she gave you life. Show some respect for that. It's biblical, isn't it? I'm the Lord thy God. I can't remember. Somewhere in the Ten Commandments is something about honoring your mother and father. Oh, think, I wasn't talking about you. Dude, it's all about me. I wasn't talking about you perpetrating things. Everything had winded down, and then Giggles was like, oh, Ronnie, did you hear about the phone call? And you guys can talk about whatever you want. It's like, when I watch somebody who's drinking alcohol on YouTube, it doesn't mean they're driving me to drink. I choose to not drink. I choose to try to not involve myself in the drama. And I will fail on the drama thing. Hopefully, just for today, I won't fail on the drinking thing. I might tune in later on tonight to GS, and he might be taking shots for super chats. That's not going to make me drink. Hell, about a year ago, Muxer did little spacers. He does videos, his reviews, and he does spacers to let him know to stop there and talk about it. And it was a cartoon icon of a guy advertising free beer. Muxer's probably my closest YouTube friend. He knows I'm a recovering alcoholic, and everyone's like, oh, he's going to drive, think all to drink. No. The choice to drink or not drink, that doesn't matter if I see free beer or someone taking shots for super chats like we're about to see right now. Hello, GS. How are you? Oh, he's a nice fan. Let me hide my shirt.
Hello. I almost put on my ice hat.
Oh yeah, okay. All right, put it on.
It's over there. It'd require me getting up.
How you doing, man?
I'm all right, man. It's been weird. I think a funk. It's an interesting funk. It's one of those situations where sometimes you wonder if the good guy is ever going to win. And why does it seem like the evil guy tends to get ahead while the good guy is like, what's that movie? Was it Goodfellas or something like that? Where it's like, Sonny says the working guy's a sucker. You're a sucker for being a working guy, Dad. Sonny says, and he's like, you stay away from him. He's a this. He's a gangster. He's no good. No, Sonny's good. He's good. He says the working guy's a sucker. And that's what it feels like, man. I ain't gonna lie. Following the rules and paying your taxes and.
Yeah, I don't know what the movie is you're talking about, but it sure sounds like YouTube recently. Well, actually, YouTube since long before I got involved, but yeah, YouTube generally, at least our style of YouTubing. There's a lot of good stuff out there on YouTube. There's music, there's how-to videos, there's homesteading videos, and there's drama. And we get kind of hooked on the drama.
Well, I've got premium. If you don't have it, you get a lot of free movies. There's like a whole free movie section. It's amazing.
Yeah. Early on, I made the mistake of thinking those free movies were YouTube allowed, so I would play them and I get copyright. I'm like, oh, okay. Just because I have access to them doesn't mean
how are you able to play them? Because like the only way I'd be able to show them would be through like OBS, and there's a codex that wouldn't even allow it to play.
Oh, I don't know. Let me see. You go to youtube.com and name a movie. Patton.
Or Shawshank Redemption.
Okay. Shawshank. Is that on YouTube?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it is.
Redemption.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You're talking about even when people make clips of it, like unofficial clips.
Oh, no, we can do short clips. I don't know what the time limit is, 30 seconds, 60 seconds. But yeah, the Shawshank Redemption is a YouTube movies and TV. And,
but if you have premium,
yeah,
if you have premium, you could watch it for free. But if you try to, use OBS to kind of show it, it basically blanks out your screen. I don't even know if the audio works either. I think it's a codecs thing that OBS has built in. It's kind of like Zoom. I think they automatically have codexes in there that prevents you from like a clip like that is fine, but the actual movie, like the whole movie, is that the whole?
No, this is a 1 minute 37-second clip.
That's why
I have the option to buy or rent based on my premium account. But other movies like Patton, full movie. I'm pretty sure. Oh no! Oh, something's changed. I can rent or buy them. I can't.
Well, if you go to premium, right? Well, I know on my TV. Yeah, if you go, just click premium and then go to movies, or you're on premium. Yeah, open up that 3-line thing that you were just touching. Nope.
Okay, here. All right.
Yeah, I think that one. And I think if you go down to movies, what is it? Is it what the hell?
To miss subscriptions.
I know I can get it on my there it is. Yeah, there it is right there. And then when you click on that, it should give you like a free, like it should give you like a whole listing, and then keep scrolling down, it'll say free. And then whatever says free, you can actually watch anytime you want. And I think there's actually a whole category that'll list only the free ones. So that way you don't get kind of suckered into really wanting to get a movie and then you're like, oh, I got to pay for it. But I think if you keep scrolling down, it'll say free only or something like that. It'll have like a little
free.
Yeah, right there. Premium. Keep going down right there. It says free premium movies. If you click on that, like that whole category right there, you see it right below Forrest?
Yeah.
See how it says free premium shows? Oh, that's shows. That's not movies.
Never mind. This is movies.
Oh, you got it. Yeah.
So we have Forrest Gump, All the President's Men, Lady Jane, Fiddle on the Roof. I love me some Fiddle on the Roof.
Big Trouble in Little China is hilarious.
I accidentally stumbled across Alice's Restaurant, and just in time for Thanksgiving. We did a big Thanksgiving show, and I quickly found out, even though it's free for me on my premium, when I share it, all of a sudden the screen goes blank for the audience. Yeah. I get a message you're showing copyrighted material. I'm like, but it's free. It's free because I'm paying for the service of premium. I forget that. Yeah, okay. Right, let's stop sharing. Remove. Hello, Hot Miss Summer. How are you?
Hey, Miss Summer. Oh, how was your show last night?
I popped in just for a few moments. I didn't watch the whole thing. I was not feeling good last night.
Yeah.
I don't remember what time I popped in, but I donated to the cause. Of course, you won't see that until YouTube payday. I think that's near the end of the month. Oh,
it should be the 21st.
Yeah, she's got to wait 3 weeks. Sorry, Summer. When I was in New York, I disassociated my Cash App because I saw some weird charges on it. So I disassociated my bank account, and I never did put that back on. I will put that back in and be stupid with my money. And I see I'm getting chats, text. I don't know, Muckster, Ariel, Killing Time. I don't know what time you put that on, but about 8 o'clock this morning, I saw that it was 4 hours old. They did a an AI video on basically on some of the things I said recently. It kind of poked fun at a lot of people, including you and Chris Ruff and Chris Ryder and me. I like to pick on me. We're going to have to make some changes in this ownership structure, I think.
So for the record, I would like to very clearly state that I don't identify as having PTSD. That experience wasn't traumatic for me in a way that, you know, I did what I had to do, did my job. It wasn't really anything compared to who probably had to put him in the body bag and all the other ANA. So it was just the realization as the body bag that I was helping to unload was my commander, and I could tell there wasn't a whole person in there. That included his IVA, that included his weapon. That was my recollection of it. It wasn't a fucking war story. It was a recollection of a very, very minor amount of detail, by the way, just expressing that some men gave it all, you know, and yep. usually it was the best men that didn't come back, and I never understood it. Whereas with respect, somebody like Jeff, what does he do with his second lease on life? What would my commander have been? What would he have done if he had had a second lease on life? And just to see how the divergence of choices and paths. I mean, I don't know. Maybe Jeff's a good guy. Maybe he is. Maybe he's a fantastic guy.
In my opinion, not what he's shown us on YouTube, but we only see what he shows us on YouTube. So
fair enough.
I can't diagnose you. I can't opine whether or not that was a PTSD trigger, but the attack coming from Ryder, I fully understand how it could be any big T trigger or little T trigger. It's an attack you've dealt with repeatedly, and I totally understood your reaction. Be a big T or little T. What pissed me off is he kept at it.
Well, he continued to lie, even though my wife was like, "That's never been said." And that's why I got frustrated with Muxter yesterday. Muxter, I don't know if you're listening. I still not trying to come after you or anything or be disrespectful to you. I don't like it. I mean, I've got thousands, even though I deleted close to 1,000 of my live stream videos. I've got thousands of hours of videos out there. I got people that said they have, like Ryder, they've got my entire collection. Look, I've said what I said. Show the damn clip. Don't cut it. Don't stop it and then provide context that wasn't there, or don't exclude context that would change what actually was being said because you wanted it to sound like what you wanted it to sound like. Now, if I'm making a joke with something Ryder said, now the context of my little, I'm going to kick your door in and I'm going to blah, 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 and shove my blah, blah, blah down Tiffany's blah, blah, blah. The context of that was he got a message from somebody allegedly on Facebook that he received that message. If that's true, that's absolutely jacked up. I don't support that. I disavow that. But there's some context there of here's a guy who claims to be like a supporter of these groups that, you know, liberal values would say, well, you're not going to use that word as a white person because that would be very disrespectful, right, to that particular group of people. And if you know it's hurtful and you're doing it to be hurtful, even though the Oxford Dictionary, back before it's been perverted by people's ideologies, meant it is a person of extreme ignorance. It had no color associated with it. That is a fact. You'd probably need a 1787 dictionary in order to actually find the original point of it. Yeah. Now it's been used as a weapon against a particular group of people. That is undeniable in the common usage. That can't be denied no matter how much you try to flex and stretch. However, telling one man what words he can use based on the color of his skin versus another man what words he can use or cannot use, I'm not down for that. Just because I can use it doesn't mean I should use it, right? So
yeah, there's someone in the basement. I'm not entirely opposed to him coming up. First thing that comes to mind is he has gone at it with you recently, and I'm not down with that. So since you're on the stage first, I'll give you first choice whether or not he comes up. It's the Vigilance Committee. We also know him as Cliff. Do you have any objections to him coming up?
Yeah, I'm not really a big fan of subversive people in general. If he's going to be all subversive, I just probably won't engage with him. So yeah, I mean, I appreciate you asking, but it's your platform. That's very respectful of you, Finkel.
And Cliff, if you can go back to camera real quick, give me a thumbs up or thumbs down. Will you try to avoid drama? And I get it, we're human. We sometimes slip into it. You're going to try. Okay.
My guess is he's going to say something very polite and very respectful. That's going to be my guess. However, he's done that before and slipped a dagger in.
And yours truly has done that too. So I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm just saying I'm trying to avoid it. So if you're here for drama, Cliff, or drama starts coming, I do reserve the right to kick anybody out. Or I'm sure Muxter's going to show up in the background and do the same. All right, here we go, Cliff. What's up?
Hello. How you doing, Finkel?
Hey, you shaved.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yep.
I did. Yeah. Yeah, I shaved for medical reasons. Got sleep apnea, so that machine, you have to cover your face with it, so it doesn't adhere if you have a beard. So anyway, I wanted to talk about what Christopher Ruff was saying about the two felony charges. Do you know what they stem from?
His or Ryder's?
Chris Ryder's.
No. Are we going to get into the drama of it all?
No. Those two charges are based off him posting JJ's house, right?
What? Yeah, there is a charge related to the posting of the house. Yeah.
So just so everyone understands, he did get that address from a Meade County government website. So then he did it once, and then he went to court, and they told him not to do it again. He immediately went home and posted it again because it was a government website that posted that address. So is it a felony now to post a government website address? I mean, come on.
If what you said is accurate, I don't know if it's a felony or a misdemeanor, but it sounds like he's violating a court order.
A court order, maybe, but is it a legitimate court order? Because last I checked, you could post a government website address from a government website, and it's not a felony. But I don't know.
I would be surprised if it's stuck as a felony charge convicted by a jury of his peers. Who knows?
I think it's a ridiculous bullshit charge, like you've said in the past.
But another court order, and eventually got thrown out, was to take away GS's rights to own and bear and keep arms, and his right to travel in certain locations.
Yeah, I don't agree with that either. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not saying one allows the other, but it's a court order. Until it was dropped, GS did surrender his guns, and
he did comply. Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't go to.
He did the right thing, of course.
He obeyed the court order, and it sounds like what you're telling me is Chris Ryder did not obey his court order.
Right.
Whether or not you agree with
which
the
he
court
didn't.
order.
It should never have been a court order in the first place because he did receive the address from a government Meade County website. So he went home and in defiance, he reposted it again, which I don't think was a brilliant thing to do at all. In fact, I think it was kind of stupid. But because he knew that Meade County was out to get him, and he knew that they would charge him with something. I don't think that he realized they'd charge him with a felony, but they did. So
here's an opinion I would agree with. If you don't like the court decision, you appeal, not decide on your own to ignore it. In GS's cases, he went along with it until the court dropped it, and in Ryder's decision, he defied it.
Yep.
I got a question for you. I'm sorry, Cliff. I didn't mean
go
to
ahead. Go ahead, James. Go ahead.
I'm considering streaming this to my audience, but if you're only going to be on for a couple minutes, is that even worth me wasting a notification, or like how much longer? Because I think If you're going to be around for a minute, I'll start, but otherwise I'll just not do it.
I have no problems restraining here, but he's asking you, Cliff.
No. I'm asking you if you're going to be around for a while. Otherwise, I'm not going to waste the note. Probably not very long.
I've self-imposed an 11:30 drop time for me.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you for letting me know, so that way I didn't waste the notification on my channel.
All right, notification. Yeah, you got to budget those notifications.
Yeah, you only get 3 per 24 hours. You got to spread them out.
Yep.
So the interesting thing is this.
Oh, come on. I hate that.
What?
The interesting thing is this. I mean, you're always telling us what's interesting, GS. Come on.
It's interesting to him. Let him finish.
All right. Go ahead, GS.
And he's controlling himself. He doesn't want to get into it with you.
It's just irritating to me. He's always telling us what's interesting.
Well, with all due respect, that sounds like a personal problem. It's interesting to him, and probably
it is. It is. It's a personal.
And we have no idea what it is. It may be fascinating. I don't know.
It may be. But now he's going to pout and stay on mute, right, GS?
He's measuring. I'm going to guess he's measuring himself because.
Okay.
While you found it irritating that he opened with the interesting thing is he found it irritating that you interrupted with him and presumed that it was not going to be.
It was rude of me. Yeah, it was. I admit that.
Okay. Jess, do you want to try again and Cliff, let him finish whatever it is?
Yeah, I'll let him finish.
It's up to Jess.
I'll mute myself.
Okay. Jess, you still there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah. Just where the Bible says, entertain or suffer not a fool in their folly. Do not engage them in their folly, at least they think themselves wise in their own eyes, and you yourself become the fool. Yeah. How's that Bible reading going there, Cliff? Did you give that up? So what I find interesting is that he was told by a judge that the person or the personages that live there were not the intended addressees for the purpose that the domicile used to have, was no longer the function of that domicile. It was made very clear to him that there was a divorcee or divorcee, I'm not sure the correct pronunciation, and a minor child at that address. He knew that very, very clearly and decided, well, it's a government thing, and I'm just going to put it right back up and put somebody's life in danger. Now, for those of you that have been paying attention, he has been waxing poetic and whining like you would not believe about how his family's in danger and how there are children there and oh, the humanity, think of the children. Yet he had no problem putting other people's children in danger. And the paperwork, the PDF files that I sent you, will demonstrate everything that's in there that he's being charged with. Again, when he is made known after the fact that what he's doing isn't appropriate and he still chooses to do it, well, you made the choice. You chose the consequence. And if it's a matter of principle, so be it. If he wants to go out on his shield or come back carrying it, that's a choice. I can't really fault him on that choice. That's a choice he's willing to make.
Yeah.
So,
well, for what it's worth, whatever my opinion's worth, I did find that interesting. I have no idea where you're going. Somebody said something here. Oh, yeah, Seven Cities Kid. He claims that GS never has anything interesting. Now she is pouting. Well, okay, first, GS is not a she.
that's all right. I'm not offended by that.
And how can you know he never has anything interesting unless you watch him 100% of the time that he's on? And if you watch him 100% of the time that he's on, you must find something interesting. All right. Did I go too far with that?
Yeah, it's like Chris Fonstock yesterday saying he doesn't watch my content anymore. But you do, because you watch Hell Pirate Studio, and 90% of that is my content. Way out of context, but it's my content. So you do watch my content, like most of these other little nut hanging Muppets running around.
That's a good point. You brought back a childhood memory when you were saying the judge told him don't do this, and he went out and he did this. It reminds me when I was a young lad. I don't remember how old, but the deal was with my stepfather, my very strict stepfather, that if I didn't get an average of 70% in all of my grades, that I would spend the summer digging out. The house had an addition from its original make, where a dining room and a kitchen were over a crawl space. There was a basement, but my penalty for not maintaining 70% in all of my grades, which I was capable of doing, that I would spend the summer digging out that basement. And I thought that was unfair. I thought that was mean. I thought, knowing how can you get away with that penalty? So I intentionally let my grades drop so that some of my grades were below 70%. Guess what I did that summer?
You dug.
I dug my ass off.
Let your yeses be yeses and your noes be noes. Sounds like his yeses were yeses and his noes were noes.
He was a very matter of fact, to the point man. Yeah. But that, yeah, it's a good point. Whether it's a fair order or not, it was an order, and Chris disobeyed it, according to what you guys are saying, and I guess according to the PDF file that I'll read later on today.
And so I guess it's also fair that they just charge him with a felony and try to throw him in prison for defying the court, right?
Okay, so what if I would have refused to have given up my weapons because I had a court order to do it? Would there really have been an absolute SWAT response to that, to come banging through with a warrant to look at every little corner, nook and cranny of my property and make sure that everything was taken? What if I would have disobeyed, even though, in my opinion, that judge must have auto-penned that whole thing? Because if they would have just done a cursory search on my criminal record, or my record of any note, versus Chris Ryder's criminal record, they might ask some questions. And if they'd done the due diligence that the judge who sat and adhered over or adjudicated over the case didn't even let evidence happen, even get presented, because it was jurisdictionally unsound. Now, if just a modicum amount of checks and balances were adhered to before the auto penning of protect the victim at all costs, no matter how trumped up the BS statements are, potentially, if just the tiniest bit of looking into it was done, my rights would not have been suspended.
Right.
The government's going to do what the government does, and our justice system
So why are you bitching about it?
Unjust.
Then stop bitching about it.
And sometimes we need to defy an unjust government.
Stop it! Unhand him. You're hurting him. I heard you. Yeah, that way to defy it, dude. Good job.
Oh my God.
You know, there's something I'm finding in common with YouTubers, not 1A, but peripheral to 1A. Left, right, politically, for, against Chris Ryder, for, against Chris Ruff, for, against General Specific.
I'm not for anyone, especially Chris Ryder. Chris Ryder has lied. I've had the same phone conversations.
I didn't mean to talk
with him that you've had with him. No, I apologize for interrupting, but I wanted to get that out. He's lied to me over the phone too, saying, "Oh, just next couple of days, this is going to happen. You'll see it." So I know what he does, and there's stupid ass bullshit lies, and he's lost all credibility with me as well as you and a lot of other people. Okay. So don't think that I'm going to be lumped into fucking supporting Chris Ryder, because I don't anymore.
Okay, and I'm with you on that. What I was trying to point out before I was interrupted was that we all have something in common. Muxer, GS, you, Chris Ryder, Chris Ruff, Fraud Wrangler even. We don't trust the government.
Right. Rightly so.
Speaking, we don't trust the government. So maybe we can find some commonality in there and calm the fuck down. I'm going to disagree with Seven Cities Kid again. Of course, I don't know. He says, nobody said you, I think he means GS, had to give the weapons to the government. You could have given them to a family member. If I remember correctly, His most immediate family member was Mrs. Specific, and she had to give up her guns too. Guns, whatever they
Yeah.
counted.
Yeah, it was wrong.
I don't know if that was an option or not. I did have a friend from that PTSD group, who was going through a divorce and custody battle. And one of the conditions to get through that court battle was he had to surrender his guns. And he had quite a collection. I'm sorry, YouTube. Pew-pews. He had to surrender his pew-pews. Yeah, I don't know, that's silly. And he couldn't give them to a PTSD buddy friend. He couldn't give them to a family member. He had to surrender them to the local law authorities until that court case was completed. Whether that's fair or not, right or not, that was the court order. That's what he did. He ended up winning the custody battle, and then he got his weapons back.
Yeah, after all the serial numbers were added to a fucking registry.
Yeah. Which is also very wrong.
Thanks, freedom fighters out there.
Well,
Good job, freedom fighters.
Are you
I'm not
lumping me
talking
in
to
with
you.
Tom? Okay, good.
I would have fucking called your name, dude. You're right.
Well, you lump me in with these freedom fighters when you say it all the time.
Yeah, Muckster, I'm telling you right now, dude. I'll never come back to this channel again. I'll never come back to it again.
Don't be a whiny little bitch.
I'm telling you right now, you're the one that keeps the
All right, I'm out. See you later. Fuck off, Muxer, you retard.
Oh boy. Okay. Now I realize I thought
Rage quit.
I thought he's pissed off. Okay. I thought he was taking himself down. Now I realize Muxer was I wasn't taking him down every now and then.
Every time he started shooting his mouth off, I took him down to try to warn him. He's the one that was ramping shit up.
Mm-hmm.
Did you take Cliff down when he was ramping shit up?
I was about to, and then Todd started shooting his mouth off. Cliff started going a little high right after that.
Even with our best intentions, we all get a little heated, and Cliff came in strong. And I don't know how long you've been in the basement, but
I don't see. You're seeing things through blinders. I didn't see Cliff come in strong.
Not come in. He came in. He came in soft, but he started to get strong there, and he didn't drop down like GS did. And I don't know what point you came into the basement, but a couple times GS dropped. I thought he was taking a pause, and I realized now you were taking him down. Both of them are ramping stuff up. Just saying. That's hot mess.
Okay.
We all get a little hot-headed, Muxter included. Shocker. I kind of hope GS comes back because later Finkel some BS. Okay, all right. Let the drama go. All right, we got we got 44 in the audiences now. I'll take a deep breath. I got about 8 minutes before I have to go.
And you know what else I saw at certain points? You fucking white knighting for GS.
White knighting?
Yes, you weren't being impartial at all on stuff. You jump right in there.
Look, I do listen because I value you as a friend. At what point do you think I was white knighting as opposed to maybe trying to take a fair look at all sides?
I'd have to go back a couple of minutes and find it again, but you do. You as soon as somebody says something negative, you start going, no, that's not what GS meant. No. GS is a good guy. You're not being real impartial either.
Okay, partiality, impartiality, it's a challenge, but if you find where you think I was white knighting, I'm happy to hear you out. It doesn't have to be right now. Go back later. I will temp step my actions, but I don't feel that I've unfairly taken his side on issues. When I'm taking his side on issues, I'm seeing where he is the standing on the higher moral grounds. I know for you it's hard to hear that he could stand on higher moral ground, but yeah, in whatever moment or comment I believe I'm honestly seeing is taking a higher ground on an issue, whatever that issue is. And when I disagree with him, I think he's on a lower moral ground. And really, it's all my judgment. I'm not white knighting. I'm like, oh, let's defend GS no matter what he says. At least I'm not intentionally going in that way. But if you find where you think I was white knighting him, I'm happy to review that and 10-step it and question my motives. But on the surface, I'm over explaining it. I don't think I have at this point in time.
Well, I'll go back and see if I heard it.
I was undramatic through most of the Chris Ruff stuff, and we hovered around 20. It got dramatic, and look, we're at 47. People love drama.
They do.
Muxer is ruining your channel. He is biased. One in the scenario. Best of luck, Badger. You are for sure welcome on my panel any day. Okay, I think it's safe to say that you've pissed him off. And you know, really, okay.
Well, and my opinion is generally specific. Just said that you're a bitch, and Muxter runs your channel. It politely said it, but said it nevertheless.
Well, okay.
Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny? If you agree with GS, you're wonderful. You're impartial.
Yeah.
But if you go against GS, oh my God, then he's just a piece of shit.
Well, here's the thing. This live tab on both of my channels for a long time, longer than I've been aware of GS or for public safety, near the beginning of my awareness of Fraud at Wrangler. For a long time, this tab of these channels has been, by verbal agreement amongst us, co-owned by Killing Time Passing Through, Ariel, Muxter, and Finkel. And for a short while, that crazy woman, Izzy. We got rid of Izzy eventually, but am I a bitch? Am I a softie? I don't know, but my word of probably around 2.5 years ago, I'm not sure if I got the time right, my verbal contract with these other fellows is we all own this. We have Bao in the basement. I have no idea what Bao wants, but any objections to Bao coming up? I have about 4 minutes.
Absolutely not.
Muck. Oh, okay. Muxer brought him up. How you doing?
Good morning. How are y'all?
Bad Badger. What are you? What?
It's a long story. I can tell you if you want it.
La Rata.
It's not that long of a story.
Well, you better get to the point because there's only a couple minutes left in the stream.
Oh, it's all good. I just wanted to say hi. First off, thank you for having me on panel. I really appreciate it. And if I only have a couple of minutes, I guess I can try another time. I guess I mean it might take a.
I can't commit to when I'll be back up or when Muxter or Ariel or Killing Time will open up the streams.
That's all good.
I'll get it every 5 or 10 minutes. What I got to do is not a hard time. What I got to do is an oil change at Jiffy Lube. I want to get.
Yeah, that's all good. Life comes first. You just said
Q1.
something interesting, so I figured I'd chip in.
Everything I say is interesting.
Well, you said gosh, what did you say? I might be wrong, but you said we all, and you named a handful of people, right? And you said we all have something in common, I believe, right?
Oh yeah,
And,
I'm adding the link at request. I don't have long, but okay. Yeah, we have some things in common, and one of them is a distrust for the government. And when I say the government, it could be the federal government, the state government, the local government, those idiots who arrested you. We all have some level of mistrust for some level of government.
and then I believe you followed that up with naming a handful of people,
Yeah.
maybe more than a handful.
Just examples. So.
Yeah. And you're saying because of that, we should, disregard a couple of things about what they've done in the past because they just distrust the guy. I might have heard it wrong. I might have heard it wrong.
I might have said it wrong. I'm very guilty of saying things wrong. What I meant was we do have something in common, even though we oppose each other in so many ways. We should probably focus on something we have in common and work off of that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're also all guilty of slamming each other and being nasty to each other. But we do have something positively in common, is our common mistrust for some level of government. But I'm not
And rightly
with
so.
that.
And rightly so.
I agree with
Yeah.
that.
Well, what I got out of it, and
Mhm.
I might have misinterpreted, but what I got out of it was, because you distrust government, you and Kaiser should work towards something positive. Like, am I reading that wrong? Or?
Yeah.
You got me there. I wasn't. Yeah.
Oh, Bow, you're trolling us there.
You won that round.
Man, have fun in Jiffy Lube, yeah?
I cannot deny
Oh,
it. You got me, pal. You got me. All right. Me finding something in common of Kaiser. Yeah, okay.
Thanks for having me up.
I bow to your victory.
Have a good one, Bell.
Yep.
Nice to see you.
Hey, what's up? I just want to jump up because I don't really know any of the players, and so I just want to make a very non-emotional comment. Mugster, I don't know what's going on in the background, obviously, but I'm gonna make an opinion because I was a person in the chat watching when it happened. So is Sarge not allowed to have opinions and talk?
Of course he is.
I'm not talking
when
to
you start
Sarge, I'm
off
talking to either Mugster or Sarge.
Oh, sorry.
when you start
not
off
disrespect.
with I don't know what's going when you start off with I don't know what's going on, then anything you say after that is just totally inconsequential.
Well, it's actually not, right? Because, and I'll tell you why it's not. Because when somebody's sitting watching a show, right, and you see the host of the show is obviously trying to have two people on panel that clearly don't agree with each other, and you decide to make an emotional decision and kick one of them off, but not both of them off. I don't care if I know everything that's going on or not. I'm just going by what you're playing out. I don't have to know what's going on to understand that the guy Cliff came in hot as well. And the other dude, whoever he is, was sitting there trying to, respect Finkel's panel. And then because you didn't like what he said or what him and Sarge were talking about, then he goes in the back. I don't need to know what's going on to visually see what happened.
So you think he was trying to respect Finkel's panel when Cliff was
I think in that moment,
I'm finishing a fucking sentence.
What you're not going to do is fucking yell at me, Monster, because I'm not your fucking child. I came up to have a conversation.
You came up to ask a question. I'm trying to answer it.
Really? You think you can fucking kick me off? Don't fucking yell at me. I'm not your goddamn child. Have some fucking respect. See, I came up here with fucking respect, and you yelled at me like a fucking idiot.
And you're interrupting.
I am fucking replying. Don't fucking yell at me. Don't yell at me.
Jesus fucking Christ. What's that?
Don't change the conversation by thinking you can fucking yell at me. You know me. Don't fucking do that.
Because
I don't give a fuck. Check your goddamn emotions. Now I'm interrupting you. Check your fucking emotions.
That time I did kick somebody. What I was trying to say when she said GS was being all respectful is, how was that respectful when he interrupted Cliff that time going, making some kind of funny noises? And that was one of the times I put him in the back.
I'm going to drive down the middle of the road, even straddling the double yellow line.
Can I say something to Hot Mess Summer?
When I'm done.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, she's back. All right.
And you just kicked me because you don't like my opinion. That's a pussy move, Monster.
Let me drive down the center of the road here. and translate what I'm perceiving. Summer, admittedly, doesn't know the whole backstories with Kaiser, GS, Chris Ryder, Chris Ruff, but she does know what she sees, or at least she perceives it. And that's what she meant by I don't know the whole backstory. She doesn't know all these other channels and all the drama between us. What she did witness and perceived it a certain way was who came in hot, who interrupted who. I think her initial question was, do I not have any right to my opinion? Muxer wasn't kicking me down, so apparently he doesn't have a problem with my sharing of my opinion. He had an emotional response to GS, and Summer had an emotional response to Muxer, and Vigilance Committee had an emotion. We all, yours truly included, get emotional responses. I think we all could work better at
Well,
controlling
respectfully,
them.
he was actually throwing a dig at you because things that he was saying that you're white knight, and you're like, well, I didn't see me white knight, and I'm just sitting here talking. So actually, he was not having it. He was having an issue with what your opinion was.
He had an
That's why I
opinion.
made that statement.
Yeah, he had an opinion somewhere in my video. I white knighted GS. At the point, I don't think he was. I don't remember. Was he emotional about it, or was he just pointing out something in what he observed in me? I think he was calm. I actually have to play it back, but it's 11:35.
Can I say something?
Yeah,
Okay.
and that tone of voice you can.
So something like Summer was saying, she doesn't really understand what's going on and doesn't know the players. GS does say a lot of polite things in an underhanded way. That's actually an insult.
Baby, you came in petty too. Both. I don't need to know everything that goes on.
You're
just to have a comment
interrupting
on it.
again. You're interrupting again.
Don't
No, and
put me
I
in fucking back, pussy.
Can I finish? So yeah, Summer, nothing against you at all. In fact, I love your work. I've donated to your cause when you're out there feeding the homeless. And I understand that I was a little bit in my person's feels, so to speak, when GS made this statement. So what's interesting is he says that all the time, and it just really irks me because he thinks everything he says is interesting. And so I was out of line when I did that. I was out of line.
Okay, thank you for that, because I don't need to know everything that's going on. I'm a woman, and I'm a petty woman at that. So I recognize pettiness, right? And I'm not taking anybody's side by any way, shape, or form. That's not what I'm doing by any way, shape, or form. But I think it was petty.
Yeah, it was.
And I appreciate you. Thank you for, your support and stuff like that. It has nothing to do with any of that. I just came up to give my opinion on what I saw. And if you're going to be the person that's, the role of taking care of the channel, then check both people for being petty.
Yeah, we've got somebody in the chat saying Cliff's reading the tea leaves again. I don't subscribe to the astrology thing. Just because other people do doesn't mean, again, lumping me in with what other people say and do. It's, it's disingenuous.
And that's
Well, I was just
what
coming
both
up to give
sides
my
in this
opinion
whole.
on that.
Jesus Christ!
Wow.
I cannot get a
I don't
sentence
give a
out.
fuck, Monster. Go fuck yourself, dude, because you got fucking emotional issues. I'm out.
Funny from somebody up here screaming. I was going to say, Cliff, that's the thing that both sides of this GS and Chris thing do, is they lump everybody together. If they see you with someone from, quote, the other side, well, then you're obviously one of them.
Right. Yep. It's continuous. So, Chris Ryder has just told so many little white lies that don't matter a bit. And I've told him, I've talked to him on the phone about this kind of stuff. You can't even say little lies because you lose credibility when it's important stuff. And, he's lost credibility, and it's his own fault for, just saying stupid shit. But I do believe he's being wronged by the government in Meade County. I absolutely believe that. Um, and it's the other side. And here's the thing. I'm not on either side. So not
I,
anymore. I used to support Chris, and I used to talk to Chris on
oh,
the
I
phone,
know.
just like Finkel. And the thing of it is he'll talk to you on the phone as long as you're giving him money. He doesn't even recognize me in his chats anymore. So it's like,
I'm
you
I'm pretty much like you. I think especially that beginning stuff with them, you know, going after him because he wanted to get some papers and stuff like that. That was all wrong. He a lot of,
Mhm.
but yeah, I just get tired of hearing him say a bunch of bullshit. Just like you say, it's like, after so much, it's like, what can you believe anymore?
Yeah, yeah, and it's really hard to talk about the serious issues when he's misled people about the stupid issues. It's a loss of credibility. Um, and
Yeah,
I mean, like I said, I still support him as far as what the government is doing to him, but
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
support him if he's going to use the court system to. He doesn't feel threatened by GS. He's not afraid of GS. What he might be afraid of, though, is when GS speaks, he's inciting other people that could do something really bad. Um, and but GS now he's what's
Well, yeah,
dangerous about
that's
GS and what he says is it could incite some crazy fucker out there, excuse my French, to go to Chris and Tiffany's house and do something really nefarious, and that's not cool.
um, well, that's. I'm pretty sure I was talking to Finkel about that the other day, and that's the problem with
Hmm.
Chris doing these protection orders. Because I'm like you, I don't think GS would actually go there and do anything.
No,
But that protection order doesn't do any good against some crazy person that's watching GS
right,
because
but he's
you can't
using the court
say,
system to go after GS because GS is
yeah,
saying negative things about him, and that's not cool at all. I don't agree with that kind of shit.
just just like that phone call that he made to the cops. Now I disagree with GS keep calling it a swatting, but that was just like a petty thing to say, hey, this guy is on there and making it sound like he's making threats against Fort Knox instead of just having an argument with another guy on the internet. Yeah,
Right.
that
Well,
kind
it
of stuff.
is legally and technically, as far as Kentucky is concerned, that is considered swatting when somebody calls the police on somebody with egregious accusations. And then the police show up. They don't have to show up as a SWAT team and break down the door, but it is considered swatting in Kentucky legally. What
Ariel
Chris did.
11:30 was Finkel's timeout,
Yeah,
but
I saw that he left. I really
Nick,
do want to talk to him because him and I have gone through the same things with Chris Ryder. Because we've had phone conversations with him. We've donated money to him. We've supported him in a lot of different ways. But then when you say something that could be construed as negative about Chris Ryder, he loses trust in you and shuts off all communication and decides that you're one of the bad guys too. And that, again, that's lumping, right?
yeah,
Um, so they, like you said, both sides are doing it, and there's nobody clean in it.
yeah. In this case, oh, let me go back to this first. Speaking of Finkel leaving, I know he also left because he was annoyed, and I know I was a big part of that annoyance. And I have this problem with people interrupting me, especially when someone ask me a question and I'm trying to answer it and they cut me off in the middle and start saying something else. But what I was going to say about both sides doing it, one of the things I hate, and I know we don't align a lot politically, but one of the things I hate is when the the people on the right will do something, that's just like crazy. I can't think of a good example right now. Well, let's say, invading a city, and if someone on the left says something about it, they'll say, well, both sides do it, but it's never like an equivalent thing. It's like, Bill Clinton lies about a blowjob and Trump lies about every possible thing in the world. And they say, yeah, it's the same for both sides. But my point is, to the GS and Todd thing, when you say both sides do it, I think it's pretty equal, know?
Yeah, and the only problem I have is being lumped in on either side, because I'm not left, I'm not right. I'm apolitical. I don't vote. I think I've lost faith in our government altogether. I don't think they can do anything right. Doesn't matter who's in power. Government is power, and power does what it wants. And I don't care who's in power. They're all tyrannical as far as I'm concerned.
The first time I think I ever talked to GS, he came in on one of Finkel's panels, and he kept saying to me, well, you guys this, you guys that, just because I used to go over and hang out at Stone Vet. So obviously I was one of those people that was saying all that same stuff about him, so yeah, that's that mindset. I'll tell you this though too about Chris. I think Chris's life would be so much easier if he would just shut the fuck up.
I agree, especially when it comes to all the personal stuff. I would like him to get back to his investigative journalism, like the Jamie Knoll case, and just focus on that and try to stay out of the drama. I would probably support him again if he did. But right now, I just, I still think he's being railroaded by Meade County. But he's doing things that are causing it. He's dragging it out. I mean, this Meade County case, all these charges have been going on now for what, a year and a half, almost 2 years now. It's ridiculous. He should have already had court. He's been stalling and stalling and stalling, and I think he's liking the YouTube drama. He's getting content out of it, and GS is doing it too. They're getting content out of it so that they can continue the drama, and I think it's ridiculous. So that's just my opinion, but I'm right.
and I thought last night was going to be the last time I talk about this, and here I am again today.
I know. You thought you were out, and they dragged you back in. Yeah, and I'm trying to stay out of it completely too. But I was kind of worried about Finkel, because neither one of them are completely trustworthy. I know that Finkel's being honeypotted, and I think he knows he's being honeypotted too. He's not stupid. Finkel is a pretty sharp guy, and he'll figure it all out eventually, so I'm not worried. But I appreciate you guys having me up, and I hope that I shed some light, at least where I stand on these things, because I'm being genuine and sincere when I say what I've been saying. And I'm no longer Santa. So, boot body cam. Yeah. But I appreciate you guys having me up, Buckster, and I'm not going to keep you any longer. I'm outside.
Do you want to talk to Bao again?
Sure, I'd talk to Bao any day, man. La rata.
I just came on to keep the shit show going.
Oh, good. All right, keep it
Let's
going,
go.
man.
And plus, I also thought what you two were talking about was relatively interesting in the tribalism stuff, right? You're either fucking here or you're either with or against, right? There's no, you can't be
There's
just
no
a
in
guy
between,
watching and cracking jokes, right?
right? And that's what you're doing, and I appreciate it.
I find it interesting too because the chatters get in on it.
Oh
The
yeah,
chatters be like, hey, how come, whatever, whoever they're against at that point, or whatever community you're in, right? If you hop in a community or whatever, or you're part of it, they always like, hey, if you're in a certain chat all the time, they're like, hey, how come you support a child enthusiast or something, and it'll be a real
Mm.
leading question to kind of trap you into the whole thing.
yeah. The premise of the question is not genuine. It's
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And I like it because they go into the chats and they do it. And I always invite them to come on panel and just have a chat, man. Like, can you kind of help me, get where you're coming from? And they rarely do it, so it's kind of like pointless to try to have a discussion with someone who's really not interested in discussion. You know what I mean?
Right. They just want to get their little judgment in there, and that's it. They don't want any pushback. Yeah.
What do you think, Muckster?
Yeah, I think that's the problem all over YouTube.
I think it's
People,
everywhere. I think tribalism is,
so
within the workplace. I mean, it's everywhere.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm sure
yeah. It is
y'all.
just a human thing, I guess.
I believe so. I've had discussions about, how humans will group themselves within any kind of situation, whether it be, via something that was social or something that was forced upon them. It's shit in jail. If you've ever been to jail, there's quite a bit of tribalism.
See, I'm like Cliff. I could, using Chris as the example, I can support him on some of that stuff, and then there's other stuff I think it's wrong. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know why people can't do that. Why it has to be all of one. You know, I mean, me and Finkel, obviously, we argue, but it doesn't mean we go, okay, we're done because we disagree on Todd or whatever. It's like,
Well, and Finkel said the same thing
people,
that you just said too, Muckster. That it's not. I don't agree with everything. I mean, there's other things that he disagrees with both sides
yeah.
on. So that's well said on your part as well.
Do y'all agree with Todd getting his pew-pews taken away, or
No, absolutely not.
did Todd have the option to say no, man? Like,
Well, he did
When
say it in the beginning. He said, "I ain't giving up shit," and I think that was the right thing to say. So, but but I also think he didn't want to go to jail or didn't want his door kicked in, and so he did eventually turn him over, or he brought him down there and submitted him, and then he got him back 9 days later. But that's 9 days without his personal protection for him and his family, and I think that's egregious. I don't think he should have ever had his weapons taken away. Period.
I don't think like it's worth getting a contempt charge over whether it was right or wrong, And I'm not, and I gotta admit, I'm not totally in touch with all this stuff, all the ins and outs. Even though, like Chris Ryder thinks everybody watches everything he does and is totally obsessed with him, I don't. So I don't know a lot of the details, but yeah, it didn't seem like Todd had been saying anything that required taking guns away from him. But on the other hand, if it was me, I'd have handed over whatever guns they could find rather than go and sit in a jail.
Well, the 10 Commandments of frauditing, commandment number 4 is leave real men alone. And so, if you're not part of the government, then leave them alone. Don't harass, don't harangue, don't talk about them, don't I mean, don't continue every freaking live stream talk about somebody the same old shit
Yeah,
continuously,
yeah.
because you could end up with charges, or you could end up with the government coming after you, and with real victims. So it's on both sides there, with Chris and GS. They need to leave each other alone and find some other content, and go back to doing what they were doing in the first place. GS
Yeah,
with
Todd.
his, you know,
Not Todd. Sorry, Todd
no,
started off. I think looking up homestead videos to try to like cultivate his garden because he didn't know anything about it,
uh-huh,
and that's
yeah,
how he got on YouTube, man. As crazy as that sounds.
Yeah.
yeah, and
You know
talking
what?
about other
And
things, conspiracy theories and all of that kind of stuff. Um, I guess it just wasn't working for him. The drama has really helped him build his channel. And because
let's.
everyone loves drama, right, Mister?
Oh, for sure.
I was gonna say, and this is just. I mean, this is a secondhand opinion, but somebody who was a big supporter of Todd in the past, they basically said he changed once he discovered monetization.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Happens.
Yeah.
Like you say, he was doing this other stuff, and you know, he just he might have been doing good stuff, but nobody was watching. All of a sudden, you realize, if I do this, if I scream and shout online, more people will watch, and it
Yeah.
makes me money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just a matter of do you want the TTS or not, right?
Yeah.
If the answer is yes, then the rest of it's pretty set in stone.
Yeah.
Those are some wise words, Cliff. In a village somewhere, you would be a respected elder amongst the quote community, and that community would be younger people like Todd and GS. You know what I mean?
I don't know
Well,
though.
I
It's
appreciate you
hard to
saying
it's hard to
I'm not,
take it's hard to take Cliff serious since he went clean face. It's just not the same guy.
Well, serious or
yeah.
not, from where I'm sitting, those are pretty sound advice in my opinion. Gosh, if I had someone to tell me that when I was in Mania, I would be in really good shape. Like,
I think you're in really good shape anyway.
no, I'm just saying if I was going through something like that, where if I started, opening my YouTube app, right, to figure out how to homestead and how to, turn a farm or whatever, right? I don't know what the exact wording was, but it was like a genuine reason why he went on YouTube to learn things, I guess. And then whatever the case, whatever the reason may be, one thing led to another, and he's in a position where he's got like, he's kind of in a blood sport situation, right? Like it's getting really
Mm-hmm.
chippy, right? Would be an understatement, right?
Yeah.
And there was someone there to say, hey man, you gotta stop this. Like from the outside looking in, that's good advice, right?
I think so.
What do you think, Muxter? How about the chats? What does the chats think? I mean, the chats is important, right?
Oh, they love the drama. A lot of them on here in the chat.
Oh, sure. Like Finkel has pointed out a few times over the last little while. Like right now, even though Todd is gone, so there's not as much confrontation. We still have 37 people here listening to it.
Well, that's the other thing I
If we
wanted
were
to come up and
sitting,
talk about, Muxter. Since
well,
you
but
brought it up.
wait a second, because I was just going to say, if we were sitting here right now talking about our favorite foods or music, that'd be like at least half of them would be gone. But go ahead.
Yeah,
What
that's
were you
what I'm
going to say?
saying.
Yeah.
I agree
Yeah.
with you, and that's why I
They're,
think Summer has a little bit of a point by saying, hey, you kind of cuck the content there a little bit,
yeah. I respect what Summer does. Feeding the homeless is a noble thing. That's why I've supported her channel in the past. I haven't been on there recently, and I haven't, paid much attention, but I'm sure she's still doing the same good work.
Yeah, I used to do the ride-alongs. You know, the
And
virtual ride-alongs where you
and I'm not
go in there
hating
on
on your
Wednesday night.
style, Muxter.
Good.
I just think, sometimes, man, less is more,
Yeah.
Like I said, I have a problem with people interrupting, especially when I'm trying to answer their question. And I have a problem with somebody coming and screaming, complaining about me yelling.
What if they have really complex PTSDs, man, and shit just triggers them, man?
Yeah, but you know
Yeah.
what?
Hot Mess Summer's been
So
through it too. Trauma.
so go get therapy.
This isn't
You
the
know,
therapy place.
are you gonna are you going to are you going to spend the rest of your life blaming everything on stuff, as bad as it is, blaming stuff on that happened to you 30 years ago or whatever?
No, fair enough. Now answer for cooking the content.
Sometimes though things will trigger it, and
Mm.
you have to kind of forgive it when it does come out. But yeah, I agree with what you're saying too, Muxter.
That's one of the things I always I this is a different level of it, but when people will say, well, I'm like this because my mother never hugged me or whatever, and it's like, you know what?
Get
You're
over it
35
already.
fucking years old. Yes, you're an adult now. You recognize the problem, so you
Yeah.
fix it.
Well, it's a work in progress for a lot of people, I think.
And to the
Some
Yeah.
some handle their trauma better than others.
and Muxter, I wasn't really uh bringing it up to say what I said. I wanted to finish it up with, Todd kind of does the same thing, so I thought it was funny that you did it to Todd, because he'll do the same thing on his
Oh
channel
yeah.
where he's kind of a tyrant, where he's like, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. So that shit's funny to me when someone does it to him.
Yeah,
That's
because
why
Yeah.
I
he
brought all that
has
up.
done it to me. In fact, he'll throw you down in the basement, and then, interrupt, talk over you, all kinds of little tricks
Yep.
that he does. But when it's done to him, he doesn't like it very well. So it's just the way it is.
So what are the intentions? Are we planning on waiting for the Finko to get back and then troll him
He
some
won't be
more?
back.
Or?
No.
I imagine he's over at Jiffy Lube by now.
So he left the shit show with you?
I
what's the
think
point?
I think he meant to leave Cliff in charge, and he forgot Cliff doesn't have any of the buttons.
Cliff
No,
said, "Fuck
he
it." Cliff
did
almost left. He was like, yeah, thanks for having me, but
not.
I'm out of here. The only reason I hopped on is because
Well,
I thought I was gonna time it to where as soon as Cliff got off, I was gonna get on and I was gonna be able to really badger the Muxter.
Oh, well, I can leave.
No, it's all good.
Throw Muxter under the bus that way.
No, I figured we could keep a shit show
I've-
going somehow.
I've actually got a 15-minute hard timeout anyway.
Oh man, what do you got going? What do you got to go do?
I got somebody coming here at 12:30.
Goddamn life. The
I know.
third reason I came on, or back on, sorry, was to bait the chats to come up and talk to us, man. They're so chatty, they're so opinionated, but they don't want to come and talk. But I get what the Muxter doing his thing is. It might be, a little, intimidating, I guess. And I came on to just try to break that ice, and saying this is a safe place, man. You can come and talk, right? Right?
Well, we really, even Fink was saying last night, we want to get back to how we started and not be into all this drama shit.
How did y'all start?
What's kind of weird, well, Finkel was doing his, what's he called, social experiment thing. Kind of 1A, but a little differently. And I discovered him because of that. And we got to talking. And I'm trying to condense the story a bit.
For
because
sure.
it's probably more interesting to me than it is to anybody else. But anyway,
Sometimes I
we
do
got
yada
to
yada yada.
talking, and he wanted to start doing, panels and stuff. And he had the idea of trying to do like a thing that would be 24 hours. And the one day he grabbed Ariel and Killing Time just out of chat and said, "Hey, would you guys want to be a part of this?" And I was sitting there going, "The hell are you doing? You don't have any idea who these guys are." But it worked out really good, the four of us. And basically, well, me and Finkel first, we tried doing a couple of things. We tried doing a show about the West Wing, which nobody else seemed interested in. And then we tried to do a show about music, and that's when we discovered the copyright problem. And then that's when we tried to just do it in chat, and then brought in Ariel and Killing Time, and the four of us just got together, got along really well. But of course, 24-hour thing was not reasonable.
So if you want to hear my knowledge on the music thing, it's not an issue if you don't really monetize it. If you're just running live streams and playing music and interacting with your chats, it's not an issue at all. If you try to post
No,
and
that's
monetize
you're
it,
wrong. You're wrong.
Yeah, they almost shut
We've
their
been-
channel.
Yeah, we've never been monetized, and we have been shut down for it.
I could be wrong, but from my experience, that's not the
Yeah.
case.
Yeah, but you don't do it all
No.
the time.
Yeah.
I have done it all the time in the past, where I ran a stream where it's nothing but music.
Now, understand though, what we were doing too, we weren't doing the listen to the song for 30 seconds and then comment thing. We were playing songs through on a
I
lot of
understand.
stuff.
I understand. I've done music.
So that could be a big difference there.
No, I assure you it's not. I understand the nature of what you're talking about, and I've done those streams in the past.
We were learning some of the groups that you had to definitely stay away from, like the Eagles. For some reason, man, they are real.
There's different types of claims when it comes to copyrights on the music on YouTube and live streaming. And yes, not all claims are created equally.
I find interesting. A lot of times I'll put music behind a video that I do, and I'll get that notice there on YouTube that says copyright, and you go and look at it. What is it with Russia and Belarus? It's a lot of times it's like your video's okay everywhere except Russia and Belarus.
Yes,
Okay.
those are called regional claims.
Yeah.
Can you lose
But it
your
just seems-
channel over regional claims, though? I
Nope.
don't think so, can you?
No.
No, they just can't be shown in those places. Well, but it can affect monetization if you're monetized.
Right.
Like I said before I said anything, yes.
Yeah.
There's no monetization. The claim is you can't monetize someone else's IP.
But it just
Okay.
seems like a weird place. If it would say, banned in England or something, you'd go, oh, okay, they must, they have the rights to it. Yeah, it just always seemed funny. Russia and Belarus.
No. You're confusing that with the actual music IP claim itself. That's a different thing. So your regional stuff is your stream can't be replayed in that region. Like it just can't be replayed if
They
you
don't
live
allow
in
that
region,
music to be
they
heard
can't even
there.
watch that stream that you did.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Which is completely different than
And-
their IP claim of the music itself.
Right.
Well, that really hurt me because, I don't know if you realize this. I used to have 10,000 subscribers. And because of that, now I'm down to like 300.
Did you really, Muxter?
No, God, no, God, no. I'm joking.
I was like, what, man? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I was laughing. I was like, oh, he's being facetious there.
So we heard Cliff's opinion on this. What would you have to say to Ryder and Todd if you had to say something to them as an elder of the community, Muck or Muckster? I mean,
Shut the hell up.
Is
That's
that it?
my
You wouldn't give
that's
them a
my
long
base.
speech?
Well, I mean, that's what it comes down to. I
Stop
keep
the back and
saying,
forth.
Chris,
Yep.
yeah, Chris brings so much of it on himself because he can't stop from talking about the other people. And then that just feeds the people like Todd to talk about him. So,
Well, and in his defense
but
too, Muxter, when he says these things, he says, "This is my life we're talking about. I have boundaries."
yeah,
Just like when he came on my channel and said, "Why don't you just make the bathtub red?" I didn't appreciate that. That was my channel that he said that on,
yeah, I
and
remember that.
he's never been up on my panel since then. I don't know if anybody's noticed that, but he hasn't been, and he won't be. Um, but yet I still get the I'm for Chris all the way every day. Uh, let's make hay. I'm all about Chris Ryder, and I'm on his team. Um, and in some ways I am, but in
Yeah.
other ways I'm not. So it's simple as
And
that.
he, like you say, he keeps talking about his family and that, and oh, you know, worried about children. Nobody would have known that Tiffany had gotten one of her kids living with them if Chris wouldn't have talked about it.
Yep, yep, I agree with that too. Yeah, it's all
Yeah.
bullshit, and they need to just leave each other alone and do something else with their channels.
And like you were saying earlier too, one of the things that annoys me, they both do this thing where they get talking about the other person, and all of a sudden they're talking about stuff from like 18 months ago or a year ago. And it's like,
Mhm.
if you have a complaint today, talk about today. Yeah, I don't know.
What do y'all think
Yeah.
about the alleged
I
claims? Go on.
Well, I was just going to say, basically, I blame it all on Bao, but that's, just me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's easy to blame everything on that.
What do you think about the alleged claims of Todd hanging out with a possible second murderer now on panel all the time?
Oh, who, Rabbit?
Yeah, allegedly. I don't know if it's to be true. A lot of
I,
people are saying it, but we know what
my,
Kaiser was alleged of, and he kind of did it, man.
yeah. I'll tell you my opinion on the whole Rabbit thing from the very beginning is people on YouTube, I don't care if now they claim to have been somebody's best friend or not, they don't know what the fuck happened. And I want to just leave it. I figure if the police think there's something there, the police would pursue it. And people shouldn't be up on YouTube saying, oh, well, he was wearing a blue belt and then his belt was brown. So obviously that means he was guilty,
Any chance I can interject with what you said about the police? Remember, we
Sure.
don't trust the police and the government. Remember, that's why we're
Yeah.
all here.
Right. Right.
Except,
I don't.
no,
Except for in this case,
no. We don't trust the police to
To do their job.
basically the police. We can trust in the fact that the police will overreact and will charge innocent people. So if they saw anything at all with Rabbit, they would go after it, is what I think. I mean, I don't trust the police for most stuff either, but
Do you think that there's
some
corruption, that they could be getting paid off not to do their job, Muxter?
I have no idea because I don't know enough
Yeah.
about the situation. If Rabbit
Yeah.
could have that kind of
do you believe evil
pool or
exists?
whatever. Uh, I'm not a religious person. Let's put that right out
Not
there.
religious. Like if
Well,
if someone did an evil act, it'll be evil regardless if you're religious or not, right?
yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's taking the religion out of it. I think people can be evil. Yes.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the whole situation is fascinating. I think the social media element of it is really fascinating as well. We've never lived in an era where, you know, something like this happens and people can go on social media and discuss it and share information so quickly.
Uh-huh.
The
I
The
think
court of
trouble is
public
too with
opinion is just as important
what
as the courts, because
Mm.
our court system is what we call the nighttime government.
Yeah.
You can't expose them because they don't allow cameras in that courtroom most of the time when they're doing evil stuff. So
One
it's,
of the one of the one of the problems with the internet and YouTube, though, too, is just I think I was talking to someone. I said it in chat a while ago. Is you get these people who go, well, I've heard 30 times now that I know one of the favorite things I used to. Oh, Chris Ryder's a pedophile. I've heard that like 30 times. The trouble is, one person said it, and 30 people repeat it without having any
Yep.
evidence, and that's what it seems
Yeah.
like so much. I said the other day when I was talking to Finkel, I said from now on, I am not believing anything people say on YouTube unless I see the original video that it's supposed to come from. Because
and see the words
people will
coming
say,
out.
"Oh,
And even
yeah,
then, even then, Buckster, you
oh yeah,
can't all believe what you see on video anymore because of AI. So it's it's tricky.
oh yeah."
It's becoming a problem.
It is big time.
AI is on the horizon, and it's really fucking shit up.
Yep, I agree.
I
And they're
know.
going to regulate that too.
Yeah.
The government's going to get their piece of that action, like they do
That's-
in everything. They always got their fingers in the pot somewhere.
Have y'all heard about the scalability of these AI centers?
No.
So this might sound boring to y'all, but it kind of affects us all. These AI centers, every time someone tells an AI app to go compute whatever they need them to compute to generate whatever image or story they need to compute,
Yeah.
it requires a certain amount of electricity. And how they measure these AI centers, every time you do that, it's sent to a center, and the center sends it back, and it takes it's just a bunch of computers, NVIDIA processing cards, I think, stacked up on top of each other, and the center, they're measuring like terawatts or some shit, like some really astronomical number that I can't compute.
So kind of like Bitcoin, if you're mining for
Times
Bitcoin,
10
they
in
use
like
a
the
lot
size of it, Cliff.
Oh wow.
Times 100.
Okay.
Yeah, and as far as the size of it and the impact it takes on like a physical area.
Well,
No wonder we have a problem with our grid system.
Oh, yeah, alternative energy is going to be one of the things that's really, really going to what they depend on moving forward to power these centers, because they
And the
require a
kibosh is
lot of
being
power.
put on that with this government shutdown. They're gonna permanently put the kibosh on the other alternative energy.
There's always companies, figuring out solutions. No matter what the government does, right? There's always
Yeah.
problems in the world, and there's always companies solving those problems, right? Like that's always a thing, right?
People will always provide until the government gets their fingers into the pot.
And I guess one of the things I did want to come up here and speak to you two gentlemen about too was when I was hearing y'all speak, I was hearing a lot of what we're saying now, the government, right? Like the government. But man, a lot of times people forget that it's not the government that's charging Ryder, right? That's just something we say to move on to our next sentence. But in reality, there's people
Yep.
that are plotting against Ryder.
Yep.
And yeah, they say they work for government. I get that, and everybody believes that, and I get that. But these are human beings that are flesh and blood doing these
Yep.
things.
Yeah.
yeah.
And I think that's like a really, really harmful disassociation for people to have when they speak to one another, and they just say, oh, it's just the government doing it. Means County is really trying to get him. To me, there's people plotting against him where he's living. It's not just
Yeah.
Meade County is trying to get him. It's such
Yeah.
a difference to me somehow.
Yeah, I can see what you mean. But they represent the government. I wanted to say
Yeah,
one
there's always
other
outside
thing about
influence.
one other thing about the AI thing that because we mess around with, me and Ariel especially, do stuff like I could take a picture of Cliff and have him sing a song or something like that. And I keep thinking, if we, just as regular people have access to that, oh my God, what can the NSA do?
Yeah.
They're doing some really high tech shit.
Oh yeah.
And anything you do can probably be framed 3D and reconstructed like on a real time. It's probably super high tech. Like the computers they got is probably beyond quantum level.
Yeah. They could probably throw us all
But
in jail if they wanted to.
Yeah, they can probably
I really,
raise all the robots right now and just take over.
Yep.
I really do got to go and get dressed and stuff. But I'm going to do the thing that some people do. I'll give you each like 2 minutes. If you have some final thoughts you want to make, go ahead, Cliff.
Yeah, when it comes to this YouTube drama with GS and Chris Ryder, I am not on either side anymore. I used to be on Chris Ryder's side. And I still feel like the government is out to get him, undeservedly so. I mean, who has he actually hurt? Now, by the same token, I don't think that he should have used the court system to do to GS what he did to GS either. It's both sides, I believe, are kind of wrong and kind of right on certain things, and then on other things wrong. So there's no perfection on either side, and there's no demonization on either side as well. And I would just like to, kind of try to stay out of the whole thing. I'm going to go back to doing what I do as far as 1A and constitutional rights and showing the work of the boots on the ground out there, and just leave it at that.
Good. Got anything, Bo?
Yes, thank you for having me on. I really appreciate you guys conversating with me and letting me speak with y'all. And if I don't get to speak to you guys again in the future, I wish you guys good fortune and prosperity and good travels if you guys, or safe travels if you guys do any traveling.
Thanks, pal.
Peace out.
And I'm outside, Muckster, so if you want to kick me out, you can.
Okay. Well, I guess my only final thought is I am sorry that that my triggers were hit earlier, and I am going to go back and look at the video and see if my perception was wrong or just what was going on. But as always, I thank everybody for being here. I thank the people that came up. I think we got more boring, but 27 people stuck around anyway. So thanks a lot. Even though I might yell at you, I do appreciate other opinions as long as you're not just being a shithead with it. Anyway, I am going to end this whole thing.
Thanks again, Muck.
If you're still watching this, it means you have achieved a state of maximum focus, or you're just procrastinating. Either way, your reward is this: permission to close this app. Forget the drama. Go be the main character of your own much better movie. Seriously, log off. Love you. Mean it. Now fuck off. Cheerio.